Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network. Doug, it's great to be here with you at Central Mountain on the road tonight, Week 10.
Always good to be here, Nate. Beautiful stadium, new turf this year here at Central Mountain, Don Malinak Stadium. Week 10, hard to believe, already here. Week prior to the playoffs for the Bulldogs, no matter what happens here tonight. But, Nate, really impressive. They are looking to complete their third straight undefeated season. If they can win tonight against the Wildcats, 29 straight wins, 3 consecutive undefeated seasons, no matter who you're talking about, no matter what level you're playing. That's pretty impressive. Central Mountain, as you know, though, always plays the Bulldogs tough. They can really consider it a rivalry game, only about 10 miles apart between the communities and the schools. So always interesting to see what will happen here tonight in Mill Hall, PA.
You know, last week was not only a beautiful ride as we carpooled up to Canton. Looking back at last week, both teams came in undefeated. Canton obviously is a state title candidate for. We keep talking about single A, but at any level, when you talk about first in the state, they showed that last week. Canton came out and played well. I was impressed with the Dogs. You know, we left some points on the field. But what were some of your takeaways as we got to experience Friday night under the lights up in Canton?
Canton's really good. And we talked about it on the air. And there are 3 guys in the middle, particularly led by Mason Nelson, who unfortunately won't play in their rivalry game tonight because he took a swing in that fourth quarter and obviously got ejected, and he'll miss tonight's game. But they're really good, 290, 260, and 230 in that middle. And they really gave the Bulldogs some trouble running the football, particularly in the middle of that offense rushing game, and they're really good. It'll be interesting to see how they fare tonight against Troy without Mason Nelson. That's a huge rivalry game, obviously, but either way, Troy's in Double A, Canton's in Single A, and I believe, as many people do, that they will meet Muncie in the District 4 Single A final, and I think whoever wins that game really has a chance. Bulldogs didn't play super great, but had to play all 4 quarters, and like you said, left 2 touchdowns on the board. Cooper Peacock's punt return for a touchdown, and then fumbled trying to get that ball across the end zone. Did Tate Sechrist, so it could have been 38 to 37 to nothing, but still, kudos to Canton and kudos to the Bulldog team having some adversity, coming through with a good win on the road against a top-notch team.
And one more thing I wanted to say, if there's anybody listening out there about sportsmanship, in Jersey Shore, you're going to hear some things about the Tom Gravish interview later in the program about what it means to be a class act here in Bulldog Nation. But, leaving Canton the other night, Doug, what impressed me the most was several assistants in their media group offered to help carry our bags to the car. And I just wanted to give a shout-out to Canton, the district, and say thank you, not only for your hospitality last Friday, but a well-fought game and great sportsmanship. Listen, we're going to take a break here. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Attention, do you suffer from severe fried chicken-related cravings? If so, Kentucky Fried Chicken's $6 2-piece drum and thigh combo may be right for you. The combo contains tasty chicken, creamy mashed potatoes, a flaky biscuit, and an ice-cold drink. Side effects may include more money in your wallet, happiness, and the urge to lick your fingers. Order KFC's 2-piece drum and thigh combo in the KFC app for just $6. That's finger-licking good. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Tax extra.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise. But Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your local Erie agent is Brigandy, Gleghorn, and Hafley. Get a quote today.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at erieinsurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
From tailgate parties to busy weeknights, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks made it easy to savor all of fall's flavors with mouth-watering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra-juicy burgers, and easy, ready-in-a-flash comfort meals. Right now, shop their semi-annual sale and get 50% off site-wide. Use promo code SIZZLE at checkout for an additional $30 off of your order. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, code SIZZLE at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, code SIZZLE. Minimum order may be required.
Call 570-753-5722. TLC Fuels, a family-owned business since 1998, serving residential, farm, and commercial customers from their Jersey Shore location just off of Route 220 at the Pine Creek exit. Fuel oil, diesel, and gasoline, hard coal. TLC Fuels, dedicated to providing friendly, satisfying service to all other customers. TLC Fuels, proud to be a supporter of the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. 570-753-5722.
This is Loyalty Lab Interview 6. Subject, grandmother's loyalty. Margie, what do you do when your grandson misbehaves?
Angels don't misbehave.
Here we study the most loyal, like you and... Oh, there goes the lamp.
Shouldn't have put it there.
Shell and the Fuel Rewards program has our members' backs, too. It's super easy to save on every gallon. Loyal, just like how you acted like that wasn't his fault.
Someone should clean that up before he gets hurt.
Yes! Loyal, just like that.
10 years of FR.com. Terms and conditions apply.
It seems like there's an automotive parts store on every corner, and they all probably have the part or product you need. But do they know what you need? And do they know they have it? For automotive parts and knowledge, come to the automotive parts store that has automotive experience, Napa Auto Parts. The staff at Napa Auto Parts has the experience to answer your questions and make sure you get what you need. Napa Auto Parts, Hogan Boulevard, Mill Hall, and Bridge Street, Jersey Shore. Napa Auto Parts, Central PA's trusted source for automotive parts and knowledge for generations.
It's Bear Country 99.9 FM.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly back here at Central Mountain. It's Friday Night Lights, Jersey Shore High School football. And it's senior night here. I saw the flowers coming in, Doug. I see some of the players down here with their parents. It's also a pink out, so lots going on here at Central Mountain. And let's take a look back at last week. Some of the scores, some of the out-of-town scores, and who played who and how they fared.
So we always go through them. Jersey Shore 23, Canton 0. Selinsgrove goes to 7-2, beat Montoursville 21-7. The Warriors fall to 4-5. Be interesting tonight. They have the Battle of the Bridge game against Loyal Sox, so they'll probably finish 4-6, but still go to the AAA playoffs. Shamokin 46, I believe 0 over Greater Nanticoke. They go to 5-4. They play in the Coal Bucket game tonight against Mount Carmel. Potential playoff opponent for the Bulldogs here next week. Milton big over Cowanesque Valley, 50-6, so they go to 8-1, have a chance to go to 9-1 tonight. Mifflinburg 35-7 over Warrior Run. Lewisburg won its second straight and will have a chance to win their third straight tonight. 21-16, real good win over Bloomsburg. Shikellamy loses to Mount Carmel 42-20. Central Mountain lost on the road to a very good Clearfield team at 7-2. 21-6, but that was 14-6 in the fourth quarter. So Central Mountain played very, very well. And probably the only one other to mention, and I'm not finding it here, Columbia Montour Votech. Listen to this score, Nate. They lost to the George Schools 68-52. Again, the only reason we mentioned CMBT is they are in the Quad A bracket, but they will not participate in the playoffs. Again, it'll be Jersey Shore, Milton, Selinsgrove, and Shamokin. I don't think tonight's results would make a difference in that ranking.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I took a look at the District 4, and obviously Selinsgrove playing better football. Milton, sort of on a downward spiral, still a good football team, but the strength of schedule hasn't really been there this year for them, and they've talked about that. But Milton, athletic team, kind of like Danville. Danville, a juggernaut this year here in Quad or District 4 AAA. You've got Mount Carmel and Southern in AA, and of course you've got Canton. Don't count out Troy. I will not count out Troy.
In AA, I think they could challenge somebody for sure. Yeah.
They looked really good the previous week there against Loyal Sock. Loyal Sock came back in the waking moments of that game, the end and very down to the wire, 36-35 victory. They pulled that one out. So. This week we're here at Central Mountain. We're going to talk about the Dogs last week. They took an hour ride north, and they came off 4 weeks of home football games. And I'll tell you, traveling is a good thing. And to be honest with you, we haven't had to go far this year. We've really benefited from executive charter even coming to us in the middle of the season. So, and here this is a 15-minute ride, a 15-minute ride west. So. We're here, and it's going to be a good game tonight. Don't expect Central Mountain to lay down. I'll tell you, they always play us tough. They always play the Bulldogs tough. They've got good numbers out this year. They've got good size. They've struggled to find some of their identity offensively and defensively. They've been injury-prone. But I watched the quarterback sling the rock here in the warm-ups, and he was throwing a really nice tight spiral 50 yards in the air. So Jersey Shore has to come out hungry.
No question.
Yeah. And last week – They didn't take advantage of opportunities. Canton put the ball on the ground a little bit. There were some turnovers, and that stopped drives. Jersey Shore has been penalty happy, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we return. You are listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network, as well as taking a minute to listen to this week's Tom Gravish interview. And as you hear this, pay close attention to what he talks about as far as character in the program.
Angie's List. Trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Want to sell a house? Want to buy a house? Then call the Dave Winkleman team at Anchor Realty in Lock Haven. Dave's a graduate of Jersey Shore High School. He and his wife Jan live in South Avis, the parents of 7 children. So you know the Dave Winkleman team is motivated to market your home and find you a new one. 570-858-0777. Ask Dave how he can guarantee your home will sell within 90 days. The Dave Winkleman team at Anchor Realty, 57 Bellefonte Avenue in Lock Haven, ready to serve you. 570-858-0777.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Visit the Twilight Diner in Loganton, where tasty, fresh-made food is available when you want it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Choose a burger, homemade pizza, stromboli, their famous mountain sandwich, or anything on their menu. See it on their Facebook page. Now home of the Loganton area's only beer cave. The Twilight Diner, 603 North Mill Street, just off the Loganton exit of Interstate 80. 570-725-3911 for takeout. The Twilight Diner in Loganton.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
It's time for an insurance review. Every now and then, you need to know you're getting the best coverage at the best price. So here's a phone number, 570-865-5191. State Farm agent Jason Eberhardt will give you an overview and make recommendations on how you can protect yourself and your family. Auto, home, life, health, property, or business, it's Eberhardt State Farm. Available online at insurejerseyshore.com. Eberhardt State Farm in their new offices, 600 Allegheny Street, Jersey Shore. 570-865-5191.
WQBR 99.9 FM.
Nate Carpenter here, Bear Country Sports Network, here live with Coach Tom Gravish, Week 10. It's a great day to be a Bulldog, Coach.
Sure is, every day.
Hey, listen, I saw the end of practice tonight, kids hustling, moving around. You talked about, coming off a big week, Week 9, where you're now 9-0. You went up to Canton. Talk a little bit about this past Friday night and the overall experience playing a solid team.
Yeah, we knew that anytime you play a number one ranked state playoff team, they're number one for a reason. And we knew that. We knew that when both athletic directors couldn't find a game because people dropped them and people dropped us at the last second, even though they were previously scheduled. They got together and said, hey, this is too close to have someone have to go all the way to Baltimore, Maryland, or go to Cleveland, Ohio for a game. And we said, sure. So, we respect Coach Seacrest for everything he does and their coaching staff, what their players have been around. We were pulling for them last year in playoffs, seeing the coverage, seeing the highlights on TV and all that. But, they're a class act. They have great football fans up there, very polite to us everywhere we went, from the locker room to the stadium. Maybe they're too nice. Maybe that was their strategy to make us feel so welcome there. But, good experience, great turnout by our Jersey Shore fans. Have always they're always there to support us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great, and I will say this: win, lose, or draw Friday night. You know, Canton rolled out the red carpet, but even after the 23-0 loss, they helped us carry our stuff out to the car, which I thought was class.
Yep, absolutely.
And word on the street, each week we've tried to talk about something, behind closed doors, not just X's and O's, Jimmy's and the Joes, but word on the street this week has been that some things went down Friday night post-game, some things that you guys do to just really, leave your fingerprint on what it means to be a class program. I guess you cleaned up the locker room. Something went down in that neighborhood?
Yeah, we always tell our guys, coaches will clean up the locker rooms here except for tape after a football game, or home games. But when we're on the road, you got to clean it up. You got to help us sweep it up. Coaches will help as well. And one of our coaches said, hey, we need some rooms. And they got us brooms and, to do the job that we like to do. And, we got a good report back, to our school district that they were happy that, we did so.
Well, that's awesome, man. And that comes back around tenfold. And it teaches life beyond football, and these kids will take those lessons with them forever. So, again, character shaping and developing. So, anyway, hey, this is week 10. Central Mountain's up. It doesn't feel like a long season, but you get to this place, and how do you consistently hit that mental reset button each week? Everybody's gunning for you. It's everybody else's Super Bowl. Sometimes the higher you climb on that ladder, you're exposed. But what's the Bulldog way, even here in week 10, of preparing for Central
What's always been our focus is last year's championships and accolades was last year. That's in the trophy case. We put it behind us. Last year was last year. And we're out for bigger targets this year. So we kind of feel like we put a target on the other team's chest rather than one on our own. The only way to get what you want done is to go take it, come after your opponent. So it all starts when you leave the field, I think, on a Friday evening when you get a great victory or, solid victory like last week was, our defense shut Canton out. But you probably have to go back quite a ways to find out when that happened with state caliber people on that team. So it starts on Friday to remind them, hey, we had a great outcome here. And, we're going to celebrate it the whole way back in the locker room and all that. But when we walk out of the bus, here back at home at Jersey Shore, our focus is going to go to Central Mountain. And, then it goes to, our coaches meeting on Sunday. All focus is on Central Mountain and, right into Monday's meeting. Monday meetings for us, I feel, is as important as anything throughout the entire week.
Okay, great. And listen, this is week 10. Central Mountain's up. What are some of the things you've been working on this week in preparation? Tendencies, Central Mountain, what do they like to do? I know they've had a challenging season. They haven't won a lot of games. They've had a challenging season. But, hey, you're 0-0 going in this week. What are you doing to prepare for Central Mountain?
What we do every week, we come out and work on fundamentals. We want to improve on what we did the previous week. And, we might make some connections. This is the coverage that we're going to see, and this is the routes we're going to run, and this is some of our better run packages that could work against them if we get the blocks, and just get right back at work and work on the fundamentals and watch the film, watch the huddle, have a meeting on Monday to show them, exactly what Central Mountain does. They're a balanced team. They have great talented players. They're a 5A school, and they should have talented players for a 5A school, and they do. They have, great quarterback. They got a couple good receivers, running backs, linemen. Their linemen look like 5A players all the way around, and they got a good defense. They're getting better every week, and, we look forward to seeing how we can match up with them.
Well, stay hungry, stay healthy, and, there's a third one there, Coach. What is it? Healthy, hungry, and humble. You always say that, right?
That's right.
So that's the 3 H's, and, it would be nice to see you guys pitch a perfect 10-0. Best of luck tonight. Continue to carry on the Bulldog tradition, and we'll be up there rooting for you. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
It's a great day to be a Bulldog.
Sure is.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power. And your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons. Unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back.
Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
When you're looking to move to something bigger or smaller, new construction or a fixer-upper, in town or out of town, your first call should be to Brady Carnahan at SWC Real Estate, 570-295-8233. Through the years, SWC has become an industry leader committed to excellence by offering the most comprehensive marketing solutions. At SWC Realty, it's simple. We just market your home better. Call Brady Carnahan today, 570-295-8233.
At Boot Barn, we believe that the cowboy boot is an American icon. Today's boots are not only rooted in history, but are enhanced with modern technology features for the working cowboy. Ariat boots are built with advanced technology that provides the comfort and support of a high-performance athletic shoe, yet still has the functionality and durability of the iconic cowboy boot. And at Boot Barn, we carry over 250,000 pairs of Ariat boots nationwide. Ariat at Boot Barn.
McMahon, Ferguson & Associates Insurance Agency is your local Erie insurance agency. They handle your home, auto, commercial, and life insurance needs. Let's talk life insurance. If something happened to you, would your family be prepared? Let McMahon, Ferguson & Associates craft the perfect life insurance policy for you. Call 570-398-4090 or visit 1020 Allegheny Street, Jersey.
More money. So come meet the staff and trainers and be a part of a great family. Call 570-753-5125.
Everything you need in one place. Jiffy Market in Jersey Shore. Now your first choice for great hot food, breakfast sandwiches, bagels, French toast sticks, boneless wings, hash browns, garbage fries, and taco wraps. PA lottery tickets and skill games, and ATM fresh-made sandwiches, meat and cheese by the pound, snacks, candy, slushies, and more. All at Jiffy Market. Everything you need in one place. Across from the post office in downtown Jersey Shore. Stop and shop. Jiffy Market in Delhi.
WQBR, The Bear, Cutting Edge Country.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly back here. Jersey Shore High School football. It's going to be an exciting night here, Doug, Week 10. And it's rare to say Jersey Shore's had history going late in the playoffs each of the last several years. But this year, again, to be undefeated in Week 10 is impressive. Not a touchdown scored right now against the first-team defense all year. Let's talk about tonight. What are some of the things that you look to see here as far as tendencies? We don't make predictions, but we talk about offensive, defensive schemes and maybe some things that Central Mountain's going to want to try to establish what Jersey Shore wants to improve upon. So take it away, Doug.
So it certainly is a battle of opposites. Jersey Shore comes in at 9-0, as you mentioned. Central Mountain comes in at 0-9. So all losses. Mifflinburg 14-7, Bloomsburg 42-21, Shikellamy 23-3, Mifflinburg 35-7, Shamokin 47-28. Their best offensive output of the year for the Wildcats. Williamsport 48-16, Selinsgrove 42-6, Garden Spot 45-6. Clearfield 21-6. So if you look at those scores, Nate, what you can see is, for the most part, other than that Shamokin game when they put up 28 and the Bloomsburg game where they put up 21, this Central Mountain team has problems consistently moving the football and scoring. They do have some good kids. You mentioned them. Rocco Serafini went over 500 yards, junior running back. Connor Foltz is a wide receiver that will set the program record for receptions if he stays healthy next year. He's only a junior. Brady Myers is a junior as well. Had 133 yards combined in the game last week. So they've got some kids that can certainly do some things, but their defense at times has played better and played very well last week. 7-6, they were losing to Clearfield at the half, 14-6 in the fourth quarter. So their defense kept them in the ball game without question. And if you're Central Mountain, you only average 11.1 points per game. You'll only produce about 205.9 yards per game. So the offense has been the thing. So here in your last game, no playoffs. Do you do some things? Do you jazz it up a little bit to try and catch Jersey Shore flat-footed a little bit? Why not? Why wouldn't you do that and try and put some points on the board early and really make this an interesting ball game?
Well, the truth is, Jersey Shore's pitched so many shutouts this year. They've actually had a couple of games where they didn't allow the first team didn't allow the opposing team to even get a first down. We've also seen games where it was 70-0 at the half down at Lewisburg. And by the way, that was the only other game this year they've played on turf. Also, we've seen a lot of natural grass. Be interesting to see tonight on this beautiful surface here at Central Mountain how quick the Dogs do look, because last week against Canton was one of the quickest teams east to west laterally that I've seen all year, and Central Mountain isn't going to lay down tonight. I'd like to see Jersey Shore get out tonight and really kind of work at some of the intermediate passing game. If they can get ahead and work on some of that, because they've had the luxury this year of running the football at will, and averaging 8 to 9 yards on the ground early. That didn't happen at Canton, and as a result, they were forced to go to the air. We saw some short routes, we saw some deep routes, but it'd be nice to see them get the tight end involved a little bit. Maybe Loomis, Jay Loom, saw him at practice last night. He's got great hands. And also maybe just a little bit of play action with Brady Jordan with an RPO to get out into the flats and get that 10 to 15 yard intermediate, so you're not always settling for the home run or the quick hitch. Although Cooper Peacock did a nice job last week on the hitch.
And he was certainly the player of the game last week. And you mentioned the defense. The defense for Jersey Shore has shut out 3 straight opponents. They held a state-level caliber team, Canton, to 110 yards or so in the ball game. So even though Canton was very, very competitive, they still didn't move the football a whole lot. So obviously Jersey Shore is going to hang their hat on that for sure. And I agree with you. Run the football, obviously, that's the core game. Jersey Shore has over 3,000 yards rushing the football this year, and they're the first team, courtesy of Doc Massey, they're the first team in the 2000s in this central Pennsylvania region to top 500 points in a season before Week 10. So they put up a ton of points. They averaged 56.4 points per game, over 430 yards of offense, and while allowing only about 113 yards of offense on the defensive side. So very, very impressive. And don't forget, I didn't mention it early on, so my mistake. These pregame comments and all this commentary is brought to you by Pennycoff Rural Services for property maintenance, excavation, hauling, tree work, driveways, etc. Please give Jeff a call to get your outdoor projects completed. 570-360-7750. And again, we're very thankful to all of our sponsors. Keep in mind the playoffs coming up next week. Come on board, help us sponsor, and keep these broadcasts coming along for hopefully a long playoff run.
We'll be back right after this. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
When it matters, companies need more than just a delivery service. Cintas delivers full service and the reliability that comes with having a dedicated Cintas service rep who understands your business, which means they deliver confidence and peace of mind too. For uniforms, cleaning essentials, mats, first aid and safety supplies, and fire protection services, discover the personal attention you get with Cintas.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Let me ask you a question. What do you see when you look at your car? Do you just see taillights? Or your dog's tail wagging when you first brought him home? Do you see 4 tires or 2 tired kids in the back seat after their first day of school? Other insurance companies just see a car, but a State Farm agent sees what your car really means to you. So why not give it the protection it deserves?
Jim Ely, State Farm Insurance, 105 Thomas Street, Jersey Shore, 570-398-2828.
You probably already know that with every Woodlands Bank personal checking and savings account, we provide online and mobile banking. However, did you also know we offer cutting-edge technology, just like the big banks, for free? Tools such as mobile check deposit, Apple and Samsung Pay, and access to Zelle, a fast, safe, and easy way to send and receive money with family and friends in the moment. To learn more about the cool and convenient technology we offer, or to open your personal account online today, visit woodlandsbank.com. Mobile network carrier fees might apply. Zelle is available to United States Bank account holders only. Terms and conditions apply. Woodlands Bank, member FDIC.
Our name defines what we do. Realty Lease Properties in Lock Haven. Residential, commercial, student. We can find a place for you in Lock Haven Williams Porter State College. Find out all about us online at realtyleaseproperties.com. Everything from available space to forms you need to apply. You can even pay your rent online. Call Dana or Selena using our new phone number, 570-748-7032. Realty Lease Properties, East Main Street, downtown Lock Haven. Open weekdays 9 till 4. Start leasing today.
Today on Hey Culligan, soft water, cleaner environment. What do you say, Greg?
Hey Culligan, are you saying if I have a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, I'm also helping the environment?
It sounds like you're saying it, Greg, and yes you are, because with the Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you'll use less detergent, soap, and harsh chemicals, and that's good for the planet.
Now you're saying it.
You bet I am, Greg. Soft water and a cleaner environment is already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Everything costs more, and lots of us are worried about how much we'll spend this coming winter to heat our homes. Make sure to call Hollick's Coal and Oil in Jersey Shore, 570-398-1190, providing stove, nut, pea, buckwheat, and rice coal, heating oil, outside mix kerosene, and off-road diesel. A fixture in the Jersey Shore community for the last 72 years. Hollick's Coal and Oil, ready to keep you warm this winter. 570-398-1190, online at hollickscoalandoil.com.
It's Bear Country 99.9 FM.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly back here. We are at Central Mountain, and yes, Jersey Shore has arrived. Both teams have come out of the locker rooms. Officials are meeting at midfield, and they're going to talk about who the captains are tonight for Central Mountain. Number 5, that's Connor Foltz. Number 14, Isaiah Maldonado. Number 12, unfortunately, Benjamin Herrick is out for the season. Solid kid, tough kid, has had his share of misfortune and the injuries the last couple seasons. And number 4, the running back, looking to break ground today and move those chains, Rocco Serafini. For the Bulldogs, Brady Jordan, number 11. Number 68, that's Rooney. Number 44, Hayden Packard. And number 2, Cooper Peacock. At the center of the field, Doug.
Nate, you talked about the officials. The referee is Kerry Davis. The chapter is from District 6. Don't have the name of that chapter. So this is a crew that we have not seen all season long. Always interested to see what will happen, how the officials call the game. Central Mountain in blue and blue with gray helmets, gray numbers outlined in white. Jersey Shore in the orange helmets, white jerseys, orange pants for their road uniforms.
And for the first time in weeks, Central Mountain will receive the football tonight, and the Dogs will be kicking off behind the foot of Breck Miller, who on the season is 67 of 71 point-after touchdowns with 17 touchbacks. And he's also 2 for 6 on field goals with a long of 37. Interestingly, in special teams last week, Doug, Cooper Peacock, as Coach Chris Davis showed us in the stats, they do such a great job of helping us out each and every week. Peacock broke his 2021 record, 65 yards. Last week at Canton, he had a punt roll 67 yards. And he has been just doing a great job, obviously, kicking those punts, but also in regard to the return game.
Done a super job. Breck Miller getting set to kick off. And again, our pregame segment was brought to you by Pentecost Rural Services for property maintenance, tree work, driveways, septic systems, water lines. Give Jeff a call. Get those outdoor projects scheduled or completed. 570-360-7757.
And, Doug, this will be a night we'll have to help each other out a little bit. Central Mountain uniforms all season long. They're wearing this royal blue, and at the same time, the numbers are gray, very difficult to see. Breck Miller, the kick is up. The kick is squibbed, rolling. Takes a friendly bounce. Central Mountain fumbles at the 12-yard line. Gets on top of it. Not the start they wanted, Doug. Couple of touches there. They decide to lay on the football. They're going to start inside their own 15.
A little different there from Breck Miller. Really, that was a planned squib-type kick, and, boy, it took 2 big hops. Really hard to handle there for Central Mountain. And, again, we want to kick off by saying thanks to the Wadsworth family of Lock Haven, Steve and Alicia, for their support all season long. Patron sponsor here for Jersey Shore Bulldog football.
The Bulldogs in the 5-2. Defensive coordinator Alex Jackson all season. Very stingy defense up front. In the gun will be Brady Myers. It's 2 backs behind him. Hands off immediately. Inside trap. Stuffed right at the line. Possibly a loss of 1.
And Rocco Serafini, who we mentioned in the pregame, solid running back, certainly has some ability. Brady Myers as a quarterback, dual threat. He can run and throw the football, but they're going to have to do something here to stretch the field against this really tenacious Bulldog defense.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 11. Start of the first quarter here in the gun. Myers, the quarterback, backs to his left and right. Twins right. Hands off immediately left the middle. A nice initial hole. Some good push up front by the interior line of Central Mountain to gain that yard back and 2 more.
Peyton Samar, Hayden Packard there, cleaning up from the linebacker position. Stone Seacrest had a great ball game from that linebacker position. Spelling Hayden Packard led the way last week with about 8 individual tackles.
Going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Again, Myers in a gun. Backs his left and right. Twins right, single left. The hard count. Ball is snapped, immediately thrown to the flats. No, he's going up top. Just overthrown. Not a bad play call there.
Good play call to try and stretch that field, but good coverage by the Bulldog defense. That was Brady Jordan, one-on-one, and couldn't see the receiver there. I think that might have been Connor Foltz, number 5. They also looked to the tight end, Xavier Person, number 27. But that falls incomplete, Nate. And here again, Jersey Shore, as they've done all season long, have a chance, if they can field this punt, to get a field from the 50-yard line to start their offensive drive.
So the punting duties tonight, Ashton Bennett, I believe he's been kicking all year. We'll see. We get a number on that. Snap is back. Kick is away. Kick is low. It's going to roll. Peacock almost picked it up. Lets it roll. Didn't want to roll the dice on that one, Doug.
Good coverage by Central Mountain. Got it out there. Got a good roll. About an extra 5 to 7 yards. So it'll be a start for the Bulldog offense just inside their own territory at about the 49. So good series by the defense. See what the offense does here.
Talked about that this week, Doug. Tate Sechrist will start at fullback. Elijah Jordan in the eye. Under center goes Brady Jordan. Left to right motion. Connor Griffin to the Peacock side. Hands off immediately. Tate Sechrist up the middle. Gets an initial push, but a good pursuit by the interior line of Central Mountain for a pickup of a half yard.
Again, we'll apologize. We really cannot see the numbers at all for Central Mountain. Not sure in on the tackle, but held that no gain.
Brady Jordan pitches it to the right. Elijah Jordan gets the corner. He gets to the outside, makes a man miss down the sideline, first down, and popped out of bounds. But not until he gets, we're going to check the spot here, Doug. Yes, he gets that first down. Chains are moving.
Really good job by Elijah Jordan to stay in bounds. I thought he might get forced out before the first down, but able to keep those feet moving, get it inside the 40-yard line.
Brady Jordan this time in the shotgun. Tate Sechrist the lone back to his right. Trips left. Counter tray. Tate Sechrist up the middle. Makes one man miss. Tackled after a pickup of 5.
And this Central Mountain defense, as we talked in pregame, has been getting better and better as the year has gone on, and really played well last week on the road.
Trips left, single right. 2nd and 5. Jordan in the gun. He's going to pitch it. No, he keeps it in the option. Reads the end down the sideline all alone. Not a man. Just breathe on him. Inside the 5. Touchdown, Brady Jordan. And for the first time in a long time on an initial drive, Doug, no flags on the play.
No flags. Great read there by Brady Jordan. Had a chance to pitch that not only once, but maybe twice, but made the right read. Kept it, split that defense. And once you get to that second level, Nate, you're not going to catch him. Very hard to bring down 32 yards for the touchdown rush.
Palski, the long snapper. Peacock, the holder. The snap is down. The kick is up off the foot of Breck Miller. Hands go vertical. Extra point is good. So that's 7 points now. 9:49 to go here in the first quarter. Bulldogs up 7. We talked about this in the pregame, Doug. He looked quick on turf, didn't he?
Really looked quick on turf, I tell you. The whole Bulldog team really can pick it up and put it down in the rushing game. But you talked about it, Nate. The only time they played on turf was at Bucknell University against Lewisburg, and just ran up and down that field relentlessly in that first half. That Breck Miller kick, Nate, has to feel good for him because, you know, that field goal attempt at Canton in the second half was just a bad one. Snap was there, but something was wrong with it. Never really got it off the ground, trying to extend that lead against the Warriors. So a very good PAT to start for Breck Miller and a different kickoff. And you talked about it, Nate, working on some different things here in week number 10, and that type of kickoff can be important because you never know how hard it is to handle for the receiving team.
Breck Miller will be kicking off here after that initial drive and touchdown for the Bulldogs off the Brady Jordan scamper. Breck Miller's kick this time is another squib. They onside kick it, and the Dogs get it. They practiced that last night, Doug.
Max Engel.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, I got a bar right in front of me here. Forgive me at home for those who are listening. I saw him really let up on that kick. I thought he was going to squib another one, and he just rolled that to a perfect 11, and they fell on it.
Drilled it right to the first line guys, and those are usually linemen, very hard to handle. Great recovery there by Max Engel, the junior. Turn it back over to the Bulldogs' second offensive drive.
This drive, not under the gun, or under the center, into the gun, is Brady Jordan. Dual twins packages. It's a jet sweep around the outside. That's Elijah Jordan. Cuts back inside 9 yards, 10 yards, still driving his feet. 13 yards on the pickup. Those Jordan brothers do not go down on arm tackles.
A little bit of help at the end of that by the lineman Dyson Delaney. Downfield dragging Elijah Jordan for an extra 5 yards.
Brady Jordan, the shotgun. Tate Secrets alone back. Dual sidecars. Twins right to left goes Dathan Dyson. Up the middle, Jordan just keeps it, and he's off to the races again. Down inside the 20, 15, 12. He is reading that end. Central Mountain does not have an answer right now for Brady Jordan keeping that pitch relationship and then cutting it upfield.
Ready to go again with the NASCAR.
Brady Jordan hands off Tate Secrest off the left side, bounces to the outside, makes a man miss inside, cuts back inside the 10, all the way down inside the 5. Looks like they're going to mark him down at the 6, though.
Tate Secrest, as he's done all season long, running hard. He's one of those 4 backs all over 350-plus yards on the season, of course, led by Hayden Packer.
Brady Jordan in the shotgun. Tate Secrest to his right. Twins left and right. Motioned left to right is Elijah Jordan. He's going to keep it. Around the outside, they pen him in, but he cuts back to the left, gets a block, gets pounced, another block. Inside, they're going to call that. They're going to call that an illegal crackback block, but it was clean, Doug.
Yeah, that's tough. You talked about how in that first drive, no penalties, which may be the first time all year that the Bulldogs didn't have a penalty on the first offensive drive of the ball game. That touchdown is going to come back, and that's why it's so tough. Brady Jordan made a great change of direction there to get into it, and your receivers out there, Connor Griffin, I believe that was, or maybe Cooper Peacock again. Even our numbers are hard to see from this vantage point. Coming back, doing what you should, getting a clean block, etc. But that crackback, that's something the officials will call almost every time.
And I think a lot of times it is the defender defenseless. And if it is, it's even if it's a clean block, helmet in front, they're going to call that every time. It was a good block, but again, officials saw it 15 yards. So instead of being down inside the 5 or in the end zone, they're going to be at the 23 here. In the gun is Jordan, hands off to Hayden Packard up the middle. Packard driving his legs. Packard still driving. Picks up a couple. It's going to bring up now, I believe it's 3rd. We'll see what the chains say. Boy, Doug, the visibility today, it's a challenge.
3rd and long.
So, yes, 3rd and 17-ish. So, Brady Jordan in the shotgun. Twins left and right. Jumbo, left to right goes Elijah Jordan. Brady Jordan's going to get rid of it back to the left side, and he throws that wide open was Connor Griffin, but underthrown. Some pressure on Jordan, but underthrown.
Yep, a little bit of pressure there from Xavier Person, defensive end, and Brady Jordan threw that to a spot. Connor Griffin saw it, but a little bit late, so Breck Miller probably going to come on and attempt a long field goal here.
Well, footing shouldn't be an issue tonight. Breck Miller looked good in the pregame. Left hash. It's going to be a 37-yarder. Palski snap. Back. Peacock gets a high snap down. The kick is up. The kick is good. Well executed. The key to that was Peacock getting that high snap down.
Really nice. Snap got there very quickly, and you rely on your holder to be able to get it down, and he did. Good pressure there by the Central Mountain defense, but a good result. Touchdown off the board. Hey, let's get some points out of this, extend that lead on our second offensive drive, make it 10-7 here, 8:06 to go in quarter number 1.
And if you're listening at home, it is frustrating. Points come off the board, so what was a loss of 7 there, they should have had a touchdown. The penalty puts them in a difficult position, 3rd and long, and then 4th leads to the field goal, so they get 3 of the 7 back. But that onside kick was really, really special.
Really special. And kickoffs all season long brought to you by Joe's Equipment, offering sales, service, and parts. Cement Drive, Jersey Shore. Give Joe's Equipment a call at 570-398-1391.
So 8 minutes and 6 seconds to go. Breck Miller will kick off for the 3rd time tonight in this first quarter. This time the kick is squibbed again. Oh, it bounces off a Central Mountain player. He tries to get on the football. He fumbles it, but he's out of bounds. Well, I'll tell you what, they're not kicking it deep tonight. They must respect some of the return game here at Central Mountain.
I think they do. Connor Foltz and I think Rocco Serafini are back deep there and just trying some different things. Seeing, can you get them to mishandle a ball, which obviously they did with that real onside kick right at the front line. That worked out. You kind of steal an offensive possession there. Decent field position here because that kick's pretty short outside the 25, just short of the 27.
And here comes Central Mountain for the second time tonight on offense. The quarterback, Brad Myers, make that Brady Myers in the gun. 2 backs left and right. Twins right, single left. The Dogs stacking a box. Hand off immediately left to middle, right off center for a pickup of about, well, they're not going to call it anything. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10, Doug.
Bulldog rush defense, just so impressive all season long, holding opponents to less than 50 yards a game. just once we get those totals at the end of this week, will really be impressive for what they've done thus far.
Brady Myers in the shotgun again. Two backs, left and right. Twins right, single left. Hands off to the left back, up the middle. Stumbles forward for a pickup of 2.
Bulldogs had some people in the backfield, but a good initial push there by the Central Mountain offensive line. So they pick up 2. Going to be 3rd and long here for the Wildcats. Do they extend it again? Do they try and extend that field, put this ball in the air? Got to look for Connor Fultz.
Well, the Dogs right now, they got everybody up, with the exception of Connor Griffin and Brady Jordan. In the gun is Myers. Hard counts. Hands off up the middle. Again, nothing doing. I thought he'd pull that and maybe go play action. But again, no gain on that play. It's going to bring up 3rd and long, and that's 4th and long, I should say, Doug. That's tough.
Kind of rinse and repeat for the Central Mountain Wildcats. They've really struggled to get consistent offensive play. They'll break a play or two and put some points on the board. But when you can't run the football effectively, kind of get that defense thinking, okay, what are we going to do to be able to stretch that field? Really, really tough. So the Wildcats drop back to punt again.
So the Wildcats punting. Don't have a number on the punter tonight, but we'll get that. The Dogs, Cooper Peacock and Elijah Jordan back to receive at their own 45. The punt is away. The punt is short. The Dogs have to get away from this one and out of bounds. Doug, that's not going to net much. The official walking back down the sideline. That's a net of about 12 yards on that, 13 yards on that. Tough for Central Mountain.
And the Bulldogs have not rushed the punter at all. Kind of stand up and drop him back. Very bad punt there for Central Mountain. Not the result you want. Bulldogs take over in Central Mountain territory at the 40.
Back to the first possession I formation with Tate Sechrist as the fullback, Elijah Jordan behind him, Brady Jordan under center. They've got single pro receiver left and right. Connor Griffin comes left to right. The pitch is back to Elijah Jordan. Elijah Jordan tries to get north and south. Makes a man miss. They're not wrapping up. Elijah Jordan carried that rock 13 yards, Doug. And this is the bipolar opposite of what we saw last week at Canton. Canton, technique tackles. And tonight it's just a lot of slippery tackling.
You have got to wrap up to bring the Jordan brothers down for sure.
Counter Trey. Tate Sechrist off the left side, all alone, down the sideline. He's not touched. They try to trip him up inside the 5. Touchdown, Bulldogs on the counter Trey. Tate Sechrist looked speedy on that one.
29 yards for Tate Sechrist. That's a play that really has functioned well all season long for the Bulldogs. Doesn't matter who's running it, whether it's Hayden Packer putting up 20-plus touchdowns, but Tate Sechrist, very lethal there as well. That burst, Nate, out of the backfield for Tate Sechrist, very impressive.
Palski snaps to Peacock. Good hold. The kick is up. It's drilled, and it's good. That's 3 for 3 on the night with the first touchdown PAT, the field goal, and now that PAT. Breck Miller's solid once again, Doug.
Had some penetration there for Central Mountain. Almost got a hand on that, but really good production there from Breck Miller. This is the start you want if you're Central Mountain. You want to get up. You want to get up early. You want to be able maybe at some point if you get 35-plus, again, we're forecasting a little bit, maybe get to some of those starters out, particularly Hayden Packer. Might be nursing a little bit of an injury tonight.
Yeah, Hayden, and I won't go into specifics, but Doug, you and I can talk a little bit about that at halftime off the air. They're just, they've got some guys, no major injuries, but they're just like, hey, we might play them one side of the football, but not the other. We're going to make sure these guys are healed and healthy going into the playoffs. Breck Miller's going to kick this one again. This time it's another squib. It's a knuckler. Oh, my gosh, rolling inside the 5 and inside the end zone. Friendly turf here on that one tonight.
Really interesting approach, but Nate, you can do that type of thing on turf that you really can't do on grass. At some point, the grass is going to stop it. Here, it'll just keep on rolling. Found a hole there in the Central Mountain receiving team all the way to the end zone. Wildcats going to start at their own 20.
And that ball initially hit at the 30 and skipped like a stone all the way into the end zone. So that turf really, it's not even wet tonight, just less of a coefficient of friction there. Back in the gun, the same exact formation here, Doug, on every play tonight for Central Mountain. In the gun is Myers, singles to the left, Twins right, 2 backs behind him. Tate Sechrist blitzes off the end. Up comes Hayden Packard. And he said, I'm going to make my presence known 3 yards deep.
That's a highlight reel tackle there. Man, I tell you, Hayden Packer, we were talking about it pregame with your dad. You know, if he was just a little bit bigger, maybe 10 or 20 pounds heavier, which he certainly could still get to, he may have some Division I offers, and he still may because he's so versatile, so quick. But on the defensive side, Hayden Packer is an impressive player.
He is, and what a great lick he laid on that last play. Shotgun, Myers, Twins left. He's going to fake it, play action. He's going to go over the middle all alone. They did try the play action. Give Central Mountain some credit there. It froze the backers a little bit, but that secondary wasn't fooled for the Bulldogs.
Looking for their best receiver and someone who may set some records if he stays healthy and continues to play next year, Connor Fultz, but nowhere near him. The only three people that had a chance to make that reception were the three Bulldogs deep in that pass defense.
Right now, the Bulldogs leading 17-0, 5:16 to go in the first quarter. In the gun is Brady Myers, been there all night long. Single back to his left, Twins right, single left. Throws to the flats immediately. Bubble screen, gets a block, gets outside, but isn't going to be able to break away. Just converging on that with reckless abandon was the secondary of the Bulldogs.
Nice play design there. Just something a little different, a little swing pass, a little screen out to the right side. You know, made that one-man miss, but then the Bulldog defenders really, really have been good.
Shout out to Dave back at the station. I concur. You know, Breck Miller, as a former soccer player, he knows that turf, and I'll tell you what, he's doing some razzle-dazzle on the kickoffs tonight. Punting again is Central Mountain. They've not been pressured tonight. Back to receive this kick, Cooper Peacock, Elijah Jordan. The Bulldogs have not pressured him. Again, they're going to set up the block. This time it's a better kick, low kick. Gets a roll. Peacock says, I'm taking it anyway. Tries to make a man miss, but you know what? Peacock is like a guy. He's like a kid in a candy store. He can't let that ball alone.
Always wants to try and make a play, and he's so dynamic. He was our player of the game last year, not only for his punt returns, but the long TD pass, and then his punting, setting that record that you mentioned. Good tackle there on special teams. I believe, again, that was number 5, Connor Fultz. Again, we apologize. Very, very hard to see those Central Mountain numbers in gray.
Jersey Shore coming out under center, Brady Jordan. 2 backs behind him, the power formation. Left to right goes Connor Griffin. He's going to roll to the right. He's going deep. He's got Peacock. Peacock running under it. Tries to make the catch. That ball did not get to Peacock up top quick enough. And it sort of hung in the air, but I believe they're going to call a pass interference, Doug.
Might be interesting if that's offensive pass interference because there was a lot of hand play there. Cooper Peacock definitely had his hands on the defender to make sure the defender didn't have a chance to make the play, and I think that might be the call. Nope. No, but it is against the defense. Very surprised there. And again, usually if there is contact, Nate, they're going to call it on the defender first, but Cooper Peacock had just as much contact trying to make sure the defender didn't have a chance for the INT.
And I agree with you on that, Doug. I really believe that's a better no call. If it's going to go one way, it's a better no call. But Jersey Shore gets a break on that pass interference. In the gun, Brady Jordan, Twins right, Twins left. Single back is Tate Sechrist. Jordan looks quick over the middle, and he just airmails that, looking for Dathan Tyson there in the short slot, and just airmailed it.
Good to see that the Bulldogs are trying some different passes. I don't think we've seen that type of pass pattern where you had 2 guys kind of running a little hook there. Who do you throw it to, the outside man, Cooper Peacock, or the inside man, Dathan Tyson? That's a tough throw because you have to get it over the initial defensive line. Definitely threw that one high.
2nd and 10. Brady Jordan in the gun, left to right, goes Elijah Jordan. It's the counter trade to Tate Sechrist. Nobody's had an answer for this all year. Bounces to the outside, gets 8 yards, close to the sticks, but not quite 2 yards short.
Good tackle at the end of that by a trio of Central Mountain Wildcat defenders, but good hard run there by Tate Sechrist.
The Dogs in a 4th and 3. They're going to call it 3rd and 3. Brady Jordan keeps it. It's the option. He goes up the middle. They haven't had an answer. Bounce to the outside. 20, 15, 10, 5, and walks inside the pylon. That play has been absolutely – they've had no answer for that tonight. Brady Jordan looks like a human light reel. He hasn't even had to pitch the ball.
That's the thing that's made that play so dangerous, Nate, is that they've become much more adept at actually pitching the football. Last year, Brady Jordan would be much more inclined to just keep it all the time, but because he can pitch that football and make the decision, very, very effective.
Palski to Peacock. Hold is good, and that is on top of the roof of the locker room. Big boot off the foot of Breck Miller. So here we are, Doug, 24-0. Let's recap that last play. Talk a little bit about the pitch relationship, what the keys are when it comes to that end, and why Brady Jordan is so dynamic in that.
Well, what's really key is that your offensive players, whoever is in the backfield, whether it's Tate Sechrist or Elijah Jordan, that is going to be the pitch guy, they've got to keep that relationship, 4, 5, 6 yards apart to make sure that that defender, they have to make up their mind. Who am I going to? And usually the defender is going to go to the outside guy. Brady Jordan reads that, and he just becomes so adept at that. He kind of fakes it a little bit, and then Nate, when he puts his feet on the ground and takes it, he is way faster than a lot of people give him credit for. And then he's so hard to tackle because he's so thick from the waist down. He has really become an effective running quarterback for sure.
Breck Miller kicking off. Dogs up 24-0, 3:44 to go. It's another squib. Lands at the 15 and just shoots. Picked up this time. They're going to fake the reverse. Moving forward, Central Mountain back to the 15 and doesn't even get back to the 20, so the 15-yard line is where Central Mountain will start. They have had tough sledding all night. Horrible field position if you look at where they've had to start from.
Rocco Serafini on the return there. Kudos again to the Bulldog special team. Didn't take the fake at all, saw what's in front of them. Pay attention. Look at the football. Find out where it is. Even though you made a tackler or two miss, still great pursuit there. Your defense, they're just hungry. Man, they're a defense that has been top-notch all season long, and they want to keep it up here. Get a turnover, score on your own here before the first quarter ends.
Quick shout-out to Dan Lazorka. Thanks for the encouragement. Always good to come to you from Bear Country Sports. Central Mountain 1st and 10, 3:36 to go, 24-0 Dogs. In the gun is Myers. Twins left, motion right. Central Mountain looks to the flats immediately. Pass complete. The best execution all night for Central Mountain. Just sit down quick and pick up a couple.
I think that's number 7, I think. Don't have a number 7, so that is number 8. Cruz Stover, baseball player that came out for the first time this year. Very, very good athlete. Probably a collegiate level type player on the baseball field. Nice reception there. Good pickup. First down, 5 yards.
I was going to say maybe we could get some glow sticks, Doug, tonight and wrap them around their necks out there because these numbers are invisible. Central Mountain in the gun. They're going to go to a different package. They've got 3 backs, 2 left and right, 1 behind. Myers hands off to the deep back, gets a bounce, but just that quick. Just when you think there's daylight and a hole you could drive a truck through, the Dogs converge immediately.
Lee Springman, Gabe Andrus, and then Cooper Peacock coming up with run support, holding that to a gain of maybe 1. So 3rd and manageable here for Central Mountain. Probably their best 3rd down yardage on the ball game, 3rd and about 4.
You're right. It's been 3rd and long most of the night for them. So 3rd and 4. See what they draw up. It's going to be tough to get 4 on the ground. Maybe they'll go back to the flats and a quick hitch here in the passing game. In the gun is Myers. Twins left. 2 backs to his back. Steps back. He's going to go deeper this time. Nice pitch and catch out over the outstretched hands in the flats of Hayden Packer, and he dropped that one in there. So great touch on the ball by Myers.
Good conversion there. The reception by Dominic Longworth, the junior, 6 foot 170. So Central Mountain picks up their first down of the night. And Brady Myers has some abilities. The junior, the Central Mountain team will only lose 5 players off of this team. So Brady Jordan as a junior quarterback trying to develop, looking into next year.
In the gun is Myers again. 2 backs, twins left, single right. 1st and 10 on the 31. Motions left to right. Snaps back. Immediate to the flats again. Repeat of that first play. And they're going to take that. They're going to take that 4 or 5 yards. Give Central Mountain credit. They're finding something that's working, and they're executing.
Yeah, if Connor Griffin, you don't want to bite on that because then you can go past and get a real big place. But Central Mountain will certainly take that 5 yards on first down on that little out pattern. Connor Griffin just really solid, though, coming up, making a good hard tackle. No more yards after catch.
Twins left again. Single right. Brady Myers in the shotgun. 2 backs. 2nd and 6. Snaps back. Immediate handoff. Inside tackle. And there's been nothing there all night. He's going to lose a yard.
Luke Springman again. Luke had just a tremendous ball game last year. Had 3 tackles last week. Had 3 tackles for loss in addition to about 5 individual tackles and 4 or 5 assists as well. Lee Springman undersized there from that defensive tackle position. Solid all season long, playing really well.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the character and integrity of these kids. I saw him at the Jiffy Mart last night, and he's like, "Hey, Doc, how you doing?" And he was just so kind. And these kids don't have swelled heads, but they're hungry. In the gun is Myers, twins right, motions right to left. Fake the handoff. It's going to go up top this time. Open is the receiver. It's caught. It's caught. Big catch. Bobbled, but he's inside the dog 30. The play action froze the backers just enough to go up top.
Dathan Tyson on the coverage, and not bad coverage. That was a really good throw there by Brady Myers, and a very nice reception at the end. Not sure who that was. I think it might have been Brady Wolfram, the junior wide receiver, but a nice catch, and obviously Central Mountain's biggest play of the night thus far, ball down inside the Bulldog 30-yard line.
And Myers actually had some time to throw that football, and that's something we're not typically used to seeing here in Bulldog Nation. In the gun is Myers, two backs again. Twins right, single left. Snap is back. Fake the handoff. No, it is handed off. He's bounced, reaches forward. Going to lose a yard.
Gabe Andrus and probably Dirk Stetz may get credit for the assist there as well. Another tackle for loss. So Central Mountain not able to run the football. The Bulldog guys up front really doing a nice job as they've done all season long. But you're right, Nate, haven't really been able to put a whole lot of pressure on. So you have to give some kudos to Central Mountain's offensive line in regard to protecting their quarterback. And Brady Myers, he's a nice-sized kid at that quarterback position. 6'1 plus, can see over the line. And that'll be the last play of the first quarter. We will take a break. You're listening to High School Football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Exergen wants you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Here's to the grown-ups. Your car is now your office, stage, nursery. Sorry. Erie Insurance offers products that lots of other companies don't. That's a big deal, and it's a good deal, too. And with Erie, you get your own independent agent, not a giant corporate call center or some online robot. You meet with a real person, like this.
Your local Erie agent is Fager Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 570-748-3570.
Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly back to start the second quarter. In the gun is Myers. Right to left motion. They're going to option it to the outside. Up comes pressure. Big lick by 33. And you know who that is, Stone Sechrist.
Super game for Stone Sechrist last year, the senior linebacker. Spells Hayden Packer or Peyton Samar. He's a solid player, Nate. Really understands where to go. Central Mountain just not able to run the football. The Bulldog rush defense as good as advertised, and that puts Central Mountain in that third and long situation. Obviously going to have to go to the air here.
Yes, 3rd and 15. They try to establish something there on the outside with the option pitch relationship, but the Dogs just take that east and west for a big loss. 3rd and 15 on the 34 of the Bulldogs. Myers in the gun, right to left motion. Myers going to look downfield over the middle. Skinny post, back out at the outside, wide open, double break. Inside the 5. That was a beautiful route.
Connor Fultz on that. Very, very good route. Lost Connor Griffin there. I think Connor stumbled a little bit, but a good delivery there under pressure by Brady Myers. So Central Mountain down 24-0. Obviously poised to score here. 1st and goal from inside the 5.
And the thing that I'm seeing from the Bulldogs right now, they're dropping some backers back. You're not seeing as much stunning and blitzing up front. So the quarterback Myers having time. They are inside the 5. It's 1st and goal. Myers in the gun. 3 backs in the backfield. Hands off to the deep back, and he is hit, but he's bounced outside, inside the goal line, and touchdown, Central Mountain. The Dogs did not wrap up, and as a result, 5 yards into the end zone goes Central Mountain for their first score of the night.
Good hard run there by Rocco Serafini, the junior running back. He's a solid kid, has over 500 yards. Couple touchdowns touchdown in last week's game. He's their best offensive threat in the rushing game, and a nice rush there to break a tackle or two inside the 5 and get in for the score. Nate, that's the first score against the first team defense all season long here in Week 10.
And that's what we say. Central Mountain's not going to lay down. They come into this night 0-9, and to think that the first score is from a team that has been winless all season is is what it is. So they're going to go for two. Myers in the gun, motion left to right. Myers looking at the flats, throws immediately over the middle and wide open. Broken coverage. If you look at that, Doug, Central Mountain sat down wide open in the zone. Myers looked in, receiver wide open on the outside.
And that was the tight end, Xavier Person, wide open in the corner of the end zone. Not sure who Brady Myers was looking at there because he looked inside but never saw his own receiver in the corner of the end zone. So a good 2-point conversion type of play, but unsuccessful for Central Mountain. But if you're the home team, you're pretty happy. Get on the scoreboard here first in quarter number 2. Cut that Bulldog lead to 24-6.
Yeah, the Bulldogs have looked really solid tonight. You know, the defense on the field quite a bit of time there, and it was almost like they went prevent. I don't know whether Central Mountain just picked up the blocking schemes offensively there and limited the pressure from the Bulldogs, but it was almost as if they weren't bringing much heat.
Trying to see maybe if they can get that pressure from just the up front guys without blitzing, which is really hard to do because you get good number matchups if you're the offensive team. And the Bulldogs, Nate, I think they're expecting an onside kick here because they have the whole group inside ready right in the middle of the field at the 50.
Yeah, and last night Loomis is on that, and Myers is on that, and they've got some other hands team guys. Central Mountain in a huddle right now, in a scrum, getting ready to come out and look to kick this one off. Interestingly enough, they did not go directly to the onside kick. We'll see if they kick this one deep. Elijah Jordan, Cooper Peacock back deep to receive for the Bulldogs. Off the leg of Central Mountain. It's squibbed. It's low. It's Tate Sechrist picks up the rock moving forward. They blow the play dead.
Going to have to be an offsides here against Central Mountain on that kick, so their players crossed before the kicker was able to get it off the tee. And as soon as we can, Nate, after the kickoff, we'll try and get a scoreboard. That scoreboard brought to you all season long by Irv's Meat Market, the meeting place. Quality specialized meats and cheeses, 229 South Main Street in Jersey Shore, coming up here after the kickoff.
Well, they move Cooper Peacock up a little bit. So interestingly enough, it's as if they expect this one to come shorter than deep.
Yeah, Cooper Peacock, certainly. That may be the first time he's in the up line all season long.
Yeah, I noticed that. You know, I wish we had a better opportunity to see the Central Mountain numbers tonight to call out their name. Central Mountain again huddles up, walks out, fakes the onside kick. Little razzle-dazzle here.
That's interesting. Got to stay on side, though.
The Bulldogs are receiving here. 10:46 to go. They are winning 24-6. Central Mountain kicking off after that last score, and it's a squib. Tate Sechrist picks it up. He's forward, makes one man miss, cuts back, but he's tackled by a host of Wildcats, but not until he gets out across the 40-yard line.
Quick out-of-town scoreboard. Southern Columbia up on Shikellamy 24-0 in the first quarter. Selinsgrove all over Midwest 28-0 in the first quarter. Mifflinburg 6, Lewisburg 0 in the Little Brown Jug game. And Shamokin in the Coal Bucket game leading undefeated Mount Carmel 7-0 in the first quarter.
The Coal Bucket game, awesome. Love those old throwback games. The Dogs right now, Hayden Packer gets his first sign of life on the offensive side of the football tonight. He's going to be the up back. He's going to be blocking for Elijah Jordan. Brady Jordan will be under center when they start this play clock here. Bulldogs have excellent field position.
The officials switching the football out 2 times here. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Trying to get one from the Jersey Shore sideline. Real quick update as well in the Battle of the Bridge game. Loyal Sox 7, Montoursville 0. Danville going to finish undefeated 21-0 over Huntington.
Brady Jordan under center, left to right goes Connor Griffin in the eye, hands off to second back. Elijah Jordan gets a big block from Hayden Packer. They're going to throw a flag, and usually where that's thrown, I believe that was a flag. Yep, the officials are going to talk about it.
Nice run there by Elijah Jordan, feeding him a little bit. So the penalties have been okay. The one penalty took away the touchdown by Brady Jordan in quarter number 1, but got 3 points out of that. But that one's going to negate a nice first down run. Put the Bulldogs in second and long. And, Nate, let's finish that scoreboard. Central Columbia 9, Bloomsburg 0. Milton going to go to 9-1, 29-0 over Warrior Run. And South Williamsport 21, Northwest 0.
First and 15, Brady Jordan under center, right to left. Cooper Peacock pitches at the outside. That's Elijah Jordan getting massive wall in front of him. Good blocking on the outside. Picks up about 11.
Really did a nice job on the sidelines. I thought he was going to get knocked out of bounds in Bulldog territory at about the 46. He's able to carry that over into Wildcat territory to the 48. So really nice job along the sidelines by Elijah Jordan.
In the fast car, I formation, Hayden Packer, the up back, gets to the immediate fullback pop, and he's off to the races. 10, 12, another 12-yard gain. Make that 14-yard gain for the Bulldogs off that initial fullback pop to Hayden Packer.
That's a quick hitter. Hard to stop.
Brady Jordan hands off again. Hayden Packard up the middle. 5. Make that 3. It's hard to go
that
ahead.
Play was so quick, Nate. The sticks never got set on that first down play. They're just getting set now. I don't think you can run a play like that. The officials should have stopped that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I formation again. Fakes it. Peacock sits down. Oh, batted. It's picked. It's off to the races. He may get to the house. Brady Jordan finds him. Misses the arm tackle, but he goes down. What looked like it was going to be a tip ball was intercepted by the defensive end for Central Mountain. Cooper Peacock was wide open in the flats. Great defensive play. Not only that, he makes the pick and gets big yards on the return.
And that's the player that we talked about, Xavier Person, the tight end and defensive end. Very, very good athlete there. Normally, you just knock it down or you tip it and it falls harmlessly to the turf. That's a great defensive play for the Wildcats. So they're set up. They scored to make it 24-6. They're deep in Bulldog territory outside the 20 at the 21.
That was an incredible heads-up play there by the defensive end. Timeout, Central Mountain.
First time out of the ball game, and the timeouts all season long. I brought to you as a service of Three Brothers Moving. We treat you like a part of the family. If you, a friend, or a family member is moving, give Three Brothers Moving a call at 215-220-1551. Alex Jackson taking advantage of the Central Mountain timeout to go out and talk to his defense, Nate. And you have to say, hey, guys, listen, we gave up our first score of the season in the last series. Let's get it together here. Let's really be strong here defensively. Better coverage in the passing game. Let's turn them away here after the turnover.
For the Bulldogs, what's frustrating about that last series is they were imposing their will on the Central Mountain defense. I mean, they were running in gaping holes, and even the quick speed. They were finally into that NASCAR, and just like that, their backs are broken with the pick. Nearly a pick six. Brady Jordan, with his wheels, able to get a hand on that return. Brady Myers in the shotgun, single back to his back, trips Jumbo to the right, motions right to left, fakes a handoff, wide open over the middle. It's deflected, it's picked off, off to the races goes Cooper Peacock, down the sideline, gets a block, there he goes, 40, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, and just like that, it's about that time, Doug. To the house goes Cooper Peacock. It's electric.
Talked about it all game long up to this point where the defense not really able to get pressure on the quarterback, Brady Myers. There they got pressure right up the middle, and that's the toughest kind of pressure. Right in the face of the quarterback, able to get a hand on that to force the errant throw. Cooper Peacock, I tell you, Nate, he showed his athleticism, great blocking on the return, but great speed because a couple people had the angle on him, able to turn it on all the way on the INT for the touchdown. That's the first INT for a touchdown in probably since early in the season.
And that was incredible. He took that about 85 yards to the house. Peacock, hold is good. Kick is up from Miller off the snap of Pawski. So, man, crazy turn of events. If you're just tuning in, Shore was driving up 24-6. It looked like they could do anything. Defensive end picks the ball off for Central Mountain, takes it back to the Jersey Shore 15. Game-saving, touchdown-saving tackle by Brady Jordan. And then just that quick on the very next play-action play, quarterback's arm is hit. Ball is severely underthrown. There's Peacock sitting down on his own 15. Got some blocks, Doug, and the rest is history.
You know, what's so good for this Jersey Shore team in that they have so many people playing both ways very willingly. When they turn it around on the defensive side, they know what to do. It's like blocking on an offensive play, and Cooper Peacock is as dynamic as anybody. We've talked about him all season long. He's got to be an all-state player at the 4A level, probably as an athlete, can do it offense, defense, and special teams.
Breck Miller on the kick now. The scoreboard reads 31-6, Jersey Shore. 9:37 to go, second quarter. Kick is squibbed down inside the 10. Picked up at the 10. Bobbled out to the 15, and Myers is there. Out to the 20 goes Central Mountain.
Good coverage again. Bulldog special teams have really been solid all season long, pinning the opponents most often inside the 20-yard line. Very, very few returns of any kind of length against the Bulldog kickoff team.
So there, the squib, it's interesting. If you'd have told me how the Jersey Shore kicking game would have approached Central Mountain tonight, I would have not thought 90% squibs.
No, I didn't think about that at all. But, on the turf, like Dave mentioned to us, Breck Miller, a soccer player, he knows where to put the football to allow it to get the premium defense. Again, our kickoff's brought to you by Joe's Equipment. Go see them at Cement Drive, Jersey Shore, 570-398-1391.
Brady Myers in the gun, starting at the 20, 1st and 10, right to left motion. Immediately thrown to the flats, nearly picked. Connor Griffin is there. That time he said, I'm not giving you 4 or 5, I'll give you 1.
And did the right thing. He made a nice break on the football, didn't have a chance to quite get there to make a play on the ball, but said, hey, I'm going to make the tackle right here, the solid tackling by Connor Griffin. It'll be interesting, Nate. Does Connor Griffin get the recognition from the defensive back position? He should be an all-state defensive back. He's as good as any I've seen covering. Very secure tackler as well.
Yeah, we call him sneaky athletic. He's going to go to Clarion and play baseball, so hats off to him for all the hard work he's put in this season. In the gun is Myers for Central Mountain. 2 backs there, twins right, single left, right to left motion. Snap is back. Looks at the flats. It's a hitch and go. Up top, picked off by Connor Griffin. Down to the house. Get a block. Gets outside. Inside the 15. Down to the 10. Inside the 10. Piles pushed. Almost down to the 5. On the heels of what you said, if he were to pitch a highlight reel for the PIAA voters for that state, the very next play, he takes it.
He has great recognition there. Again, pressure right up the middle in the face of Central Mountain quarterback Myers. That's just so tough. Ball fluttered out there. Connor Griffin says, hey, I'm leaving my receiver go because I'm going to make a play on the football. Got it at the high point and then return. So it looks like the Bulldogs going to get penalized here. So that's returned all the way down inside the 10. We didn't see what the signal was, probably personal foul or something at the end of that play. So instead of inside the 10, this one put outside the 20 at the 24.
I formation, Hayden Packer up back, Elijah single back, Brady Jordan under the gun, Cooper and Connor Griffin split out wide, rolls right to Peacock. He sits down. Outside, beautiful catch, looks that in, slides close to the first down marker, but he just went to 12 and sat down at about 10.
Very effective on that play. That's been a good play all season long, and Brady Jordan's become much, much better at delivering that where only his player has a chance to make the catch.
2nd and 1. Jordan under center, hands immediately to Hayden Packer. The pile is just moving. Packer's hit. Packer's inside the 5. Down to about the 4.
Good spin out of that because the scrum was right in the middle. It looked like everybody was going to go down, able to spin out, pick up another 5 or 6 yards. 1st and goal inside the 5. He's down about the 3.
Well, as good as that play's been working, I run that 3 times. Inside Hayden Packer. Packer down inside to 2. They're still pushing it down inside to 1. He's close. He's inside the pylon. Beautiful. I'll tell you what, he churned and churned.
We talked about Central Mountain's running back Rocco Serafini keeping his drive and his legs alive there. That looked like Hayden Packer might pick up a yard, just never going down. The senior running back leads the area in rushing touchdowns in his mid-20s for that really nice 3-yard run for the TD.
Boy, Breck Miller's been active this year at PATs. Palski snapped to Peacock. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it's low. Don't know whether that was blocked. That's the first time tonight that the kick didn't really get off the ground.
Central Mountain is getting some pressure up the middle there, so they're doing a nice job on that special team. So Breck Miller's been really money and a nice field goal there in quarter number 1 to kind of get his night started, but a bad result there for the PAT. But what a nice turn of events. PAT touchdown on the interception return by Cooper Peacock, and then another pick by Connor Griffin sets up Hayden Packer for the 3-yard touchdown run.
Interestingly enough, we talk about it, 2 picks tonight, 1 from Peacock, 1 from Connor Griffin. Peacock goes to the house, 85 yards. Connor Griffin inside the 5, penalized, but they're still able to score. And then, of course, the onside kick, which was awesome tonight for the Bulldogs to take advantage of an extra possession.
Doing some different things here in week number 10.
Breck Miller kicking off from the 40. He kicks this one deep. It hits at the 7, inside the 5, brought out to the 20. Still inside the 25. So they're going to call it about the 23.
Max Engel, Nate, really, really aggressive and effective on that kickoff return. Doesn't get a whole lot of snaps on the offensive and defensive side with that first unit, but when he gets a chance on the special teams, he is very, very good. Goes down there and breaks up any kind of initial line for the return team.
The Dogs still have the starters on, obviously, here. We're still inside the first half. People at home have said this week, hey, give us a scoreboard a little more often. So tonight it's 37-6, 7:45 to go here in the second quarter. We're at Central Mountain, Jersey Shore High School football, Friday Night Lights. Central Mountain takes over at their own 20-yard line. In the gun is Myers. Hands off immediately left the middle inside the tackles and just stoned by the front five of the Bulldogs.
Central Mountain just, they're working to get that running game going with Rocco Serafini, but that interior, Dirk Stetz, Zach Rooney, Lee Springman, Gabe Andrus, Tate Secrets, those five guys up front, solid all season long, really only allowing teams 50 or less rushing yards in a ball game all throughout the year. Again, going to be great to see when you total all up for the regular season what the average is, rush defense for the Bulldog defense.
Brady Myers, quarterback for Central Mountain, in the shotgun. Two backs, twins left and single right. Snaps back, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll left. Peacock's out there, and he just says, no, you're not going anywhere on my watch. He shed that block, Doug. It was a really nice engagement there from the receiver to Peacock, but Peacock just shed that block and made the tackle for loss.
And that's what makes the Bulldog defense so tough, because Cooper Peacock and Connor Griffin in particular from that cornerback type position, Dathan Tyson as well, they really recognize what's going on, and they've worked on that technique to get rid of the blocker and have a chance to make a play. They don't always make the play, but more often than not, they get their hands on you, and then it allows the other mates to come in to make the big tackle.
Myers in the gun, Central Mountain going backwards, 3rd and 17 on their own 12, left to right motion, going to the air, in the flats, thrown low and outside. So, again, that 3rd and long, that pass, even if it's completed, is short of the first down. So, Central Mountain, again, forced to punt.
Good pattern there. Just a tough throw there. Again, the pressure up the middle. Again, not a bad job by the Central Mountain Wildcats offensive line. They've only gotten to Brady Myers once or twice, maybe 3 times, but when they have, it's forced that offense and that junior quarterback into mistakes.
And the thing we've noticed tonight, Jersey Shore not really returned many punts. Could be electric here real soon. Cooper Peacock back to receive with Elijah Jordan. The snap is back. The punt is away. The punt is returnable. It's Peacock. Makes a man miss. He's outside. He's inside the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Cuts back. Inside the 10, 5. Touchdown. Unbelievable, Doug. And I'm sorry I'm animated. I can't contain myself. I'm coming unglued. That's just beautiful football.
Really reads the field in front. What was so frustrating last week, Nate, was he made such a great return, and the Bulldogs got great blocking on his punt return that was called back. We didn't really think there was a penalty on it there. He's in traffic, and he had to make the plays all on his own down about the 20, 15, and then again the 10. Made the great cut. Cooper Peacock in. Put 43 points on the board here. Still 6 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. Very impressive.
Palski's snap is back for the PAT. Peacock's hold is down. The kick is up. Pressured, but good this time. So that makes it 44, Doug. And, I want to talk a little bit about, we're not trying to single one player out, but Peacock has really had an excellent second quarter here tonight. Obviously, he had the punt return called back at Canton for 6. And tonight he takes a pick 6 to the house and returns a punt to the house. I want to talk a little bit of a sidebar about last night at practice. Tom Gravish said that sometime this year, my daughter Claire could race Cooper at the end of a practice, and of course, all I could see is him pulling up lane with a hamstring or an ankle injury, and then me being abused in the public square. But I'm telling you something, he didn't untie his cleats last night. They raced a 40-yard dash. It was super awesome, super humble. Puts a smile on the kids' faces. They line Thompson Street Stadium every Friday night with the Ennisfort Youth Football League, and those kids feel larger than life because they're made to feel like an extension of this Bulldog family, and that's class.
It's all about Tom Gravish and his staff and what they make the players do to be a part of the community.
Breck Miller's kick high and deep. It bounces. They let it hit the ground. They're going to fake the reverse again forward. Outside goes Central Mountain. And, Doug, I don't understand why they're faking the reverse forward.
Max Engel wasn't fooled. Let me tell you that all the way down, and that does not result the way Central Mountain had that one drawn up. You're inside your own 10. Well, they put him right at the 10-yard line. Just super recognition by the special teams. And Max Engel says, hey, I know who has the football. I'm going to go bring him down for a big play.
You know, I saw that earlier in the game. And, again, the reverse is a great play to run on the kickoff return game, but you can't hand the ball off forward.
No, not at all. And they are pinned deep in their own territory, already trailing 44-6 to go, 5:53 to go here in quarter number 2.
The Bulldogs still in the 5-2. I don't know if they know another defense, Doug, but, hey, if this is what's worked, we're going to stick with it. In the gun is number 11, Brady Myers. Hands off, up the middle, inside tackles. There's Springman. There's Dirk Stetz, the general. Hayden Packer also in there sniffing the football. That line is tough.
They are very tough. You know, Zach Rooney, you kind of have to block him with 2 guys right from that nose guard position, and that allows Lee Springman and Dirk Stetz and the guys on the end positions, Tate Sechrist and Gabe Andrews, just to dive in there. And then the linebackers are so active here. Stone Sechrist and Hayden Packer leading the way. The rush defense. I've said it to you, Nate. This is the best overall defense I've seen in 30 years of broadcasting games because of the way they approach the ball game. They are tremendous.
And I'll second that notion. In the gun again, Myers, the quarterback, 2 backs, twins left, single right, hands off immediately up the middle, and that's a loss of a couple again on that play. Right now, Central Mountain's line of scrimmage, that line to gain, that scrimmage line is unfortunately going the other direction.
You know, Central Mountain early in the ball game, even though the Bulldogs were putting up some points, their offensive line was getting a little bit of a push. They're not getting the push now, down 44-6 here in quarter number 2.
And, you know, we talked about this a lot of times when the Dogs are able to get ahead and break your will, which didn't happen at Canton. They didn't break the will of Canton. Canton stayed around long enough. That didn't happen. But tonight, you can see that around the 6-minute mark, things come unraveled. Central Mountain facing another 3rd and 14. Ball on their 6. Myers looks deep over the middle. He's hit when he throws it. Still completed. Myers took a ride in the end zone. Legal hit. He got rid of that just in time, and the fact that that ball was underthrown was a good thing for Central Mountain.
It's interesting. At the end of that play, the receiver made a really good play. Good coverage there by Brady Jordan. He kind of bumped into Brady Jordan right when the ball came, and Brady Jordan got knocked away. Clear catch there for the Central Mountain wide receiver. I think that was number 5, Connor Foltz, but not sure about that. So good completion, good conversion there for the Wildcats on 3rd and long.
I'll tell you what, 2 big passes deep tonight. That's been the answer for Central Mountain. They are on their own 39 after the big pickup. 1st down, 1st and 10. In the gun is Myers, hands off on the jet sweep left to right is number 2, Dominic Longworth. Longworth gets 1, and that's it.
Good coverage there. Stone Sechrist able to come in to clean that one up. But Tate Sechrist leading the way. Hayden Packer, Lee Springman in there as well. Bulldog defense, they've given up some plays, so they've given up some yardage through the air, but not a whole lot on the ground.
You know, it's a double-edged sword tonight. We talk about Jersey Shore maybe working on some wrinkles, some passes, and that's something that we want to see is work a little bit more of the passing game into this dominant running game. But at the same time, do you want to reveal all your cards going into the playoffs?
Hard question to answer for sure.
In the gun, Myers, right to left motion goes Longworth. Snap is back, throw immediately to the flats. Oh, just overthrown slightly behind the intended receiver. I believe that was Connor Foltz.
That slant pattern so hard to cover because it's so quick, and the receiver obviously has that inside position. If that's on target, you know, he has a really good chance to turn that one into a 1st down. But as you described, Nate, a little bit behind him, Bulldogs did not have a chance for the INT.
3rd and 9, another 3rd and long on the 40. Central Mountain, Myers in the gun, twins right, single left. Right to left goes Longworth. Myers looks immediately over the middle. That ball's overthrown.
Penalty going to go against Connor Griffin there. Never able to get his head turned around. He had the inside position, but the receiver really didn't have a chance to make a play on the ball. And Connor Griffin not able to turn around. He didn't really know where the ball was. Thought he was just focusing on the receiver. So Connor Griffin gets to pick the last term down here. The pass interference penalty going to go against the Bulldog defense and give the Wildcats a first down into Bulldog territory at the 45.
You know, like you said, Connor Griffin unable to get that head on a swivel. If he does, he avoids contact, and it really wasn't blown up. It was just enough contact to where the official says, I got to throw that.
Yeah, if you can turn your head around, you have a chance to make a play on the ball and probably a no call on that play, but that's tough.
Myers in the shotgun, twins right, single left, inside Bulldog territory now at the 45, 1st and 10. Myers in the gun, throws over the middle. Nope, incomplete. A little off the mark on that one.
Pressure up the middle again, using the linebackers to put the pressure on Stone Seacrest right in the face of Brady Myers, forcing the quick throw, an errant throw for the incompletion.
2 minutes, 57 seconds to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs leading 44-6 over the Central Mountain Wildcats. Here on a beautiful autumn night, this field, this stadium, absolutely breathtaking. New turf, it's gorgeous. The school's definitely making an investment in these kids. In the gun is Myers, twins right to left motion is Longworth. Throws to Longworth. It's low, incomplete, nearly a lateral.
I think that was a lateral. He threw that from about the 50 back to the 49, but the receiver able to cover it up, so no fumble on that play. Didn't allow the Bulldog defense to make a play as well. That's tough. Anytime you're throwing the ball just laterally or even back a little bit, you're relying on your receiver to make a couple people miss, and that's tough against the Bulldog defense. Dathan Tyson and Cooper Peacock right there.
Yeah, and uniquely enough, if it is a lateral, even though he covers it, it's a loss of 6. But 3rd down and 10 on the 45. Myers in the shotgun. Twins right, twins left. Dual sidecars. Snap is back. Heat's coming up the middle. This middle screen, well executed. Great play call. Pickup of about. They're going to give him. Oh, they're going to give him that yard. So we're going to call it 8, 9. I'm not sure here. We'll see where they mark it.
Really nice middle screen there to the running back, Rocco Serafini, for a nice pickup on 3rd down. 4-down territory here. You're down a bunch of points. Obviously, here in quarter number 2, you're going to go for it on 4th and about 3.
The Bulldogs right now, with facing this 4th and 2, they're going to try and dial up a number here. Watch the hard count. Twins right. Myers in the gun with 2 running backs. Single receiver left. Central Mountain will call a timeout.
And our timeouts all season long. Brought to you as a service of Three Brothers Moving. Three Brothers crew treats you like a part of the family. If you, a friend, or a family member is moving, give Three Brothers Moving a call at 215-220-1551. And if you're Central Mountain, Nate, you're still trying to work on things. You're 0-9. You're not going to win this ball game, more than likely, 44-6 here before half. Your offense just doesn't have the ability to put up points in bunches. But you're working on some things, and you say, well, why? You're not going to the playoffs. But, hey, you have a junior quarterback, you have a junior running back, you have a junior wide receiver that are all pretty good, and you want to work on things that you can put in place in the offseason and then put in place again early in the year to break that losing string and get on a positive start in 23.
Quick shout-out to Central Mountain Hospitality Team. Thanks for the Gatorades. Appreciate you. Sending you some love. In the gun, 4th and 2 is Myers. Twins right, single left. Looking to move the chains. Right to left is Longworth. Hard count. Looking to draw off the Dogs. Nothing happens. Snap is back. Immediately thrown to the flats. Batted down. 31, Tate Seacrest goes vertical, and that's a turnover on downs.
It's interesting. We saw a lot of that early in the season, but not a whole lot from that point on till this point in the year. But Tate Seacrest probably the best at doing that, right at him, able to get the hands up and knock that one down, prevent the conversion for the Wildcats, turn that ball back. And, Nate, they want to score again here, 2:12 to go here before half.
2-minute drill for the Bulldogs. Second quarter in the gun. Jordan hands off to Tate Seacrest. Tries to bounce it outside. Cuts back. Good tackle on that play by number 21.
Really good tackle by Jake Weaver, a guy that has been a pretty solid player on the defensive side for the Wildcats all season long.
Dogs in the hurry up. Brady Jordan in the gun. Twins left. Twins right. Rolls right. Going to look up top. Just overthrows Peacock to the outside. He was 2 to 3 yards beyond the chains. But an errant throw from Brady Jordan.
Had Elijah Jordan as well inside at about the hash marks. He needs to look to his brother in that type of pattern, not only to Cooper Peacock.
So Brady Jordan in the shotgun, single back, Tate Seacrest, dual sidecars, back, straight back, nobody pressured him. Looks up top, Peacock's open. Peacock almost makes the catch. He bobbled it, and when he went to come down with it, it was broken up, I believe, by number 6, Kevin Greninger.
Good defensive play by Greninger at the end of that. Cooper Peacock got his hands on it. Good delivery there by Brady Jordan, but the defensive back doing what you teach him. Get a hand in there. Don't allow that receiver to get it on the rebound for the completion.
Peacock has been solid all season long. They can't fall asleep. They've got to get down and cover. He's been out kicking his coverage. Snap is back. Good. Peacock boots it. It's high. This time it's short. See if he gets the roll he needs. He does. Inside the 30 to the 27. I think he talks to the football when it's in flight.
Yeah, that one on paper is going to look good. You know, on the video, not too pretty, but boy, he got some height on that. We talked about it. Broke his own record, 67-yard punt. What he's been so effective with, Nate, and he wouldn't do it here, that would be about an 80-yard punt, 70-yard punt. Just dropping that ball inside the 15, 10-yard line, really effective all season long. But that turned out to be a pretty good punt.
Yeah, great roll here on this artificial turf surface. Beautiful, beautiful facility here, Central Mountain. As I've said, first class hospitality, great press box here tonight. Just everybody working together, all hands on deck for this Friday night festivity. The Bulldogs in the 5-2. Central Mountain takes over here down 44-6 with 1:31 to go, and the gun is Myers. Twins right. Fakes the handoff, goes to the flats. Broken up immediately. Good break up that time by Dathan Tyson, I believe, on the outside for the Bulldogs. Got there at the perfect time.
Talked to his dad before the ball game, and he just said, you know, in his early days he was a linebacker and then switched to the cornerback. Really loves it, really loves the opportunity. One of the only underclassmen, along with Tate Seacrest and a couple others, that get a chance to play regularly for this Bulldog defense. That's what you want. You can't get up there that quick to try for the interception, but make the big hit, force the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now for Central Mountain. The Wildcats on their own 27. Myers in the shotgun. Snap is back, handoff immediately up the middle, and broken tackle, gets 10 and stuck immediately by Tate Seacrest. Boy, he doesn't wait around, does he?
Well, they had the rush there, and that created a lane right up the middle for Rocco Serafini to pick up the first down. But boy, big hit at the end of that by Tate Seacrest. Just shows the hustle, because he was one of those rushing from the outside. He doesn't give up on the play. Comes right back, runs about 10 yards downfield, and makes a really hard tackle. So Central Mountain, they'll take that. Well, they marked them short, so they were going to move the sticks. Mark them short, still about 2 yards to go.
It's going to be a 3rd and 1. In the gun is Myers, twins right, single left. Two backs to his left and right. Snap is back, handoff, up the middle, on the counter. Stuck immediately. Hayden Packer was Johnny on the spot and RSVP'd in a hurry.
Thought he was going to get the push there. Maybe Rocco Serafini able to push the defender back, but that was a big hit by the senior linebacker, Hayden Packer. It'll be interesting here. I think Tom Gravish called the timeout, said, hey, listen, we have 54.4 seconds. We want the ball back. Have a chance to go, because you would have to think, Nate, if they could score, maybe even if they don't, at 44-6 going into half, I don't think many of these starters are going to play much at all in the second half.
And Central Mountain received in the first half, so Jersey Shore will have the opportunity to receive starting in the second half. There's 54 seconds left here in the second quarter. Dogs are up 44-6. Gravish gets the timeout, which will force the Wildcats to punt.
I want to see what your return game can do, and it's been so effective, but so often they're fielding the punt around the 50-yard line. This, you would think Cooper Peacock and Elijah Jordan would both go back, or maybe Brady Jordan even go back maybe around the 30, or they may expect Central Mountain to go for it here on 4th and really short. You know, why not?
Well, why not? Because Jersey Shore can score in 8 seconds. Punting for Central Mountain. 4th down and 1. The ball is back. Whistle is blown. They're talking about putting 58 seconds back on the clock, so adding 4 ticks.
And you want the official and crew to do their job. Sometimes you have to say, okay, what's the difference? It's 4 seconds. It's 44-6. But they correct it.
So 4th and 1, punting Central Mountain. The snap is back. The pressure's there, but the kick is away. The ball hits the ground. Peacock gets it. Makes a man miss. Gets to the outside. He makes another man miss. Cuts back up the middle. He's off to the races. Crossing the 50-yard line. I'm telling you something. He is scatty.
He is dynamic and did the right thing there. Didn't try to run around anybody. There was 3 people right there. Ran right at him. I think he surprised him a little bit, able to break through. He is so tough to bring down. He was a very physical and strong young guy. Got 10 yards on that return just right at the 50-yard line.
So the Bulldogs, 1st and 10 at the 50, 45 seconds to go. In the gun is Jordan. There's Quadzilla to the right. Officials blow the whistle. Throws it to the flats. It's Connor Griffin. Makes a man miss. Gets up the field. Inside the 40, down to the 37. The Bulldogs are going to get up in the hurry up.
Nice delivery there by Brady Jordan. Good catch. Catch after the run for Connor Griffin.
That'll be a 1st and 10. Clock is moving as the chains move. Jordan in the shotgun. Trips right, twins left. Motions left to right is Elijah Jordan. Snap is back. He's going to roll right. He's going to keep it. Down the field he goes. On the outside. Inside the 20. Inside the 15. 10. 5. Inside the 5. Down to the 4-yard line. Incredible run. You thought they were going to go up top. They caught everybody sleeping in the prevent defense, and he just did the rest with his legs.
He gets to that second level, so hard to bring down, powerful and quick.
And the gun is Jordan. Hands off. No, the officials blow the play dead. I don't think anybody was set. Not sure what they're going to call here. Maybe the play clock didn't get set.
Yeah, maybe just reset everybody here with 16.8 seconds to go before the half.
Yeah, the officials are really trying to just get a breather here and make sure that things are, sort of copacetic. 1st and 4 it's 1st and goal. Jordan hands. No, he keeps it. Follows Packard up the middle, inside, down across the plane. They signal touchdown.
I think Jersey Shore, you have to give kudos to them. They've done such a good job a couple of times this year. Probably the best example against Montoursville when they had the long pass play with literally 1 second to go to Connor Griffin for the touchdown. They would have scored, Nate, every time they get the football, no matter how much time's on the clock.
PAT, Palski to Peacock. The kick is up off the boot of Breck Miller. The kick is good. That makes it 51 with 9 seconds to go here. 51-6, Jersey Shore over Central Mountain.
Really impressive, and the kickoff coming up, as it has been all season long, brought to you by Joe's Equipment, offering sales, service, and parts. Cement Drive, Jersey Shore. Give those guys a call at 570-398-1391. And also we want to give a thanks to Steve and Elisa Wadsworth of Lock Haven for their patron support of the Jersey Shore Bulldog football team all season long. Sponsors, again, think about coming on board here this coming week for the District 4 first-round playoff game, probably against Shamokin. Won't be announced officially till Sunday night, Monday. I believe they announce it, but it should be that way no matter what happens in tonight's ball game. Shamokin, again, playing in the cold bucket game, but it would be 1 Jersey Shore against 4 Shamokin, and then 2 Milton hosting 3 Jersey Shore. That really, Nate, has a chance to be a fantastic ball game.
Breck Miller kicking off. Central Mountain on the return. Kick is high, kick is deep, caught at the 7. Going out the left sideline. Gets back to the 20, but no further. Good pressure, great tackling by a host of Bulldogs.
Led by Max Engel. I've been watching him a little bit since he's made such nice plays, and he's easy to see with the Dirk Stets long general hair. But I tell you, Max Engel, he delivers a blow and then able to get in on that tackle as well. Really super job by the Bulldog kickoff team.
Engel's a big body. He's a junior. He's somebody that is going to be not only athletic next year, but important on the defensive end side of things, as well as potentially catching the football tight end.
6'3", 215.
Central Mountain, 2.8 on the clock, down 51-6 here in the second quarter. Snap is back. Myers takes a knee, and that'll wrap up this first half. So Jersey Shore, again, 51-6. We're going to halftime. We will be back after this. You're listening to Jersey Shore High School football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Close to 40 years serving the Jersey Shore area community, All Round Tire, your hometown service and tire sales center. Family-owned and operated, All Round Tire features Cooper and many other tire brands, including Michelin and Firestone. Make us your first choice, not only for passenger, light truck, farm, and ag tires, but also for service, brakes, exhaust, belts, and hoses. And we offer the only vulcanized flat repairs in the area. PA State Inspection 2, open weekdays 8 till 5, Saturday till noon, All Round Tire, Cement Hollow Road. Jersey Shore.
Exergen wants you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Here's to the grown-ups. Your car is now your office. Stage, nursery. Sorry, Erie Insurance offers products that lots of other companies don't. That's a big deal, and it's a good deal, too. And with Erie, you get your own independent agent, not a giant corporate call center or some online robot. You meet with a real person, like this.
Your local Erie agent is Fager Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 570-748-3570.
Erie Insurance.
FCCB, we'll make it happen for you. Are you buying your forever home? Whether you're downsizing or just shopping for a vacation home, you deserve an experienced lender and quick turnaround. FCCB will make it happen for you. Visit mortgagesmadesimple.com and get started today. First Citizens Community Bank, building better communities for 150 years. Member FDIC. Together, we'll get it done. FCCB, we'll make it happen for you.
For a great time, make it Bald Bird's Brewing Company in Jersey Shore. Enjoy 24 different beers in the family-friendly tap room where pets are welcome too, and a full selection of local spirits, wines, and specialty cocktails. Don't miss our weekly family game night and trivia night. Bald Bird's Brewing Company offers event space for meetings, weddings, and private and semi-private party spaces. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Bald Bird's Brewing Company, Schaefer Lane, Jersey Shore. Online at baldbirdsbrewing.com.
Can I get the sales projections for the Springfield, Bristol, and Fairview stores?
Val's Froyo Palace is dishing out 3 more locations.
Jody, have you lined up interviews?
They need 3 new store managers before they have a meltdown.
And remember, they need at least 5 years experience.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
B.A. Mikesell is a local residential, commercial, and industrial electrical contractor. With over 10 years servicing North Central Pennsylvania, B.A. Mikesell has built relationships with home and business owners in Jersey Shore and beyond. Trust B.A. Mikesell's trained electricians for all of your electrical needs. Take advantage of their industry-leading warranties. Call 570-398-7837 today to find out more. B.A. Mikesell Electric, a proud supporter of Jersey Shore sports.
Cutting Edge Country, WQBR, The Bear.
Doug Byerly, we are at halftime here at Central Mountain High School. The Jersey Shore Bulldogs, they are up big, 51-6 over the Central Mountain Wildcats. At the break, we're going to go through a little bit of the statistics, again, provided all season long by Coach Chris Davis and Jim Carpenter, and we appreciate all of the work that they do all season long. Bulldog offense humming early in the ball game, 220 yards total rush offense in that first half, 5 TDs leading the way. Brady Jordan, 6 carries, 89 yards and a touchdown. That's Elijah Jordan, 6 carries, 89 yards and a touchdown. Brady Jordan, 5 carries, 81 yards and 2 TDs. Tate Sechrist, 6 for 50 and a TD. Hayden Packer, TD as well on the ground. So 5 rushing touchdowns, 220 yards as a team in half number 1. Haven't thrown it a whole lot. Brady Jordan, 2 for 7, 21 yards. Had that INT on a deflected pick by Xavier Person by the Central Mountain defense. But the real story, even though Central Mountain puts up a first half touchdown and the first score against the first defense all season long, has been the defense. Listen to some of these numbers. Really, really impressive. Senior linebacker Hayden Packer, 5 tackles. Connor Griffin, 5 tackles as well. Coming up, making nice plays on the passing game. But here's a great stat. Gabe Andrus, guy that kind of gets lost in the mix a little bit. 4 tackles, 5 assists, and what that tells you is a guy like Gabe Andrus, he's right there. He's right around the football all the time. The senior defensive end has really been solid. And as a unit, the defensive team, 4 tackles for loss here in the first half. And also the second story of the defense, Cooper Peacock with a interception, 75-yard return for the touchdown, and then in a series, about one series later, Connor Griffin with the INT 21-yard return down inside the 10-yard line of the Central Mountain Wildcats. Got pushed back a little bit on a penalty at the end of that play. We didn't even see that penalty. I believe it must have been a personal foul, pushing the Bulldog offense back outside their own 20. So 2 picks for the Bulldog defense, 1 resulting in a touchdown, and just, again, a host of people making plays. Really, really impressive. And then the one that we haven't mentioned yet, Cooper Peacock on the punt return as well. Just really, really impressive what he's able to do with the football. And Jim Carpenter kind of takes care of plays and time of possession. Jersey Shore, 29 plays, time of possession, 740, highlights the 75-yard pick six and the 45-yard punt return. Hard to argue with that as well. And then Central Mountain, 35 plays in half number 1, time of possession, 16-20. Did put this 6 points on the board with Rocco Serafini, the junior running back, with a nice 4-yard touchdown run for the score. But that is the only score for Central Mountain. So the Bulldogs up big here at the half, 51-6. And we're going to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we go to another series of commercials. And we want to give acknowledgement to our halftime sponsor. Really appreciate all of the sponsors. And the halftime brought to you by Kevin Peacock Disposal, family owned and operated, serving the eastern portion of Bear Country, providing top-notch service for 30-plus years. Get the kind of service you deserve. Free coats available. Give Kevin Peacock Disposal a call at 570-745-7730. And again, we'll run quickly through all of our sponsors that have been with us all season long through the regular season. Stephen and Alicia Wadsworth, patron sponsors of Jersey Shore High School football. The pregame sponsor, Pennycroft Rural Services. Timeouts brought to you by Three Brothers Moving. The kickoffs brought to you by Joe's Equipment. The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Irv's Meat Market. The halftime we just mentioned, Kevin Peacock Disposal. And then coming up here in half number 2, we'll start discussions about our player of the game. First half of the season, it was Fill It Up Drive-In, and we appreciate them coming on board. And then the second half of the season, the past 5 games, player of the game is brought to you by Barry Enders Constructions. We'll talk about more of that in half number 2. So let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, if I can get to the updated scores. And again, the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Irv's Meat Market, the meeting place, quality specialized meats and cheeses, 229 South Main Street, Jersey Shore. So let's see what's happening in other ball games throughout the central Pennsylvania region. Southern Columbia up 35-0 over Shikellamy at the half. Selinsgrove all over Midwest in the Battle Route 522, 42-0 at the half. So the Seals are going to finish at 7-2. Really an improved ball club since Jersey Shore saw them in week number 2. Got healthy, have everybody back, including Bastion back at the receiver, Mark Pastore at the quarterback. So the Seals are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Mifflinburg over Lewisburg, 12-0 in the third quarter in the Little Brown Jug game. And we have a correction. We had the Shamokin Mount Carmel score at 7-0 Shamokin early in the ball game in the Cold Bucket game. That was incorrect. That Mount Carmel leads 21-0 at the half. So the Red Tornadoes have a chance to finish an undefeated regular season as well. In the Battle of the Bridge, Loyalsock over Montoursville, 21-7 at the half. Danville all over Huntington. They're going to finish undefeated as well, 56-0. Central Columbia over Bloomsburg, 29-0. That's a little bit of a surprise because Bloomsburg, pretty good ball club. They must have some injuries there late in the season. Milton going to finish at 9-1, 49-0 over Warrior Run at the half. Lime Mountain and Upper Dauphin in a good one from the old Twin Valley League days. Tied at 14 at the half. Muncie, 16-9 over Hughesville, much improved Hughesville team in the second quarter. South Williamsport going to win one over Northwest, 28-0. And that is our out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Irv's Meat Market. And Nate, a lot of good stats. Gave a good one on the defense. Gabe Andrus, a guy that kind of gets lost in the mix a little bit. 4 tackles and 5 assists. And I said, what that tells you is he's always around the football.
Always.
He's always involved, and that's a great thing for Gabe Andrus because he kind of gets lost. Tate Secrest is the big flashy guy on the other side. Gabe Andrus a little bit undersized, but it's so easy to forget he's one of those guys that makes that Bulldog defense so good.
Well, it takes 11 guys. The 5-2 scheme doesn't work without 5 guys up front that play well as a team, read their keys. But then you've got to have really good linebackers because if you do break through that first 5, there's only 2 there. There's only 2 there. What the Bulldogs also have, and they've been exploited a little bit tonight, but they have a secondary that can lock down and man. And give hats off to Myers tonight at quarterback. I saw him warming up before the game, and he was throwing dimes from the 50 into the end zone with no effort. Kid's a junior. He's got a really nice arm. If they could come up with a little bit more rhythmic offensive scheme, find an identity, they could be a good team.
It's always interesting, and we've talked about this for several years. Jersey Shore has obviously created their identity on offense. Fast pace. Yes, they want to run the football, but there's been years where they've really thrown the football kind of first. That's not been the case this year. They've tried to really sprinkle it in, but they've run the option much, much better. But so many teams, Nate, at the high school level, they really struggle to figure out what are we trying to do offensively. And Jersey Shore, they don't have that problem. This is what we're going to do. We're going to run that fast car, that NASCAR offense, and we're going to get you on your heels, and you're not going to be able to recover. And they've been able to do it just consistently. And what, again, is great, and it looks like it's going to come to fruition. Jersey Shore, the Bulldogs, have a chance to finish their 3rd consecutive regular season undefeated. That would be their 29th win in a row. People say, well, wait, you're missing a game there. But remember the COVID year, they were short a game and finished 9-0. But 10-0 last year. 10-0 this year. It really has been an impressive run here for the Bulldogs, and it really is led by their offense, their identity, fast pace, put points on the board, and then the defense has been outstanding as well.
Well, and again, tonight when you look at the way things started for Central Mountain, they started off on their own 12-yard line with a botched return. Jersey Shore choosing to come out and do some things different. We talked about the onside kick. Talk about a pick to go 85 yards. You talk about a punt return to the house. You talk about some missed opportunities. Again, there's some penalties. We got to clean that stuff up. Close games, that really can hurt your mojo and eliminate you from staying in that fast car. But tonight, Central Mountain, it was almost deja vu again. It's what we've seen predominantly all year. Teams don't get out past the 20. They punt. Cooper Peacock this year, I'm telling you, this stat blew my mind today. He has 800 yards of punt returns. Now, after tonight, that stat balloons, okay? He was averaging 22 yards a return coming into the night on 35 punt returns. Well, your defense is pitching a shutout, and you've got weapons back there returning the football. It's crazy. And, your starting field position is the 50-yard line or midfield, and your offense doesn't really struggle to get going. And tonight's an example of 2 things. Number 1, getting the points, breaking kind of the will of Central Mountain. Canton's will was not broken last week. We talked about that. Canton, tough. And not to go back and relive last week, but to talk a little bit about number 1. Canton had size. Canton could run the football. They had an identity. Talk about an identity. They're going to ground and pound, and then they're going to go to the air when they have to. And they typically all year stayed out of 3rd and longs. Jersey Shore had an answer for that. And they were obviously strong in the weight room. Their weight program has to be solid. And they never gassed. They never gassed last week. And I don't think so much tonight with Central Mountain is that they're gassed. I think they're in decent shape. I think it's the fact that their big plays have come on pass plays up top. Granted, some great completions. The secondary's kind of missed a couple things tonight. We've been exploited a little bit tonight deep, which surprises me. But it is what it is.
Well, and, anytime a quarterback at any level, but particularly at the high school level, has a chance to sit back in the pocket or on the run, but for Brady Myers for Central Mountain has been in the pocket and see what's developing down the field and have a good enough arm to throw it, one-on-one coverage, you can make the throws. And Jersey Shore's trying something a little bit different, not blitzing as much, trying to see can you put really hard pressure on with those front 5 guys. And we talked about the Central Mountain offensive line has really done a pretty nice job in that first half, and allow Brady Myers to have enough time to throw the football, and he's done a nice job.
Absolutely. And, it's a year where you say, and here's the beauty of football. Central Mountain comes in tonight 0-9, but they're the first team to score against Jersey Shore's first defense. That was intriguing to me tonight. So, football's football. The game still has to be played between the lines, And the one good thing this week for what I'm seeing visibly here tonight with you is that they didn't fall asleep at the wheel after Canton. Jersey Shore is a little – I was worried about them coming out and being a little bit of emotionally – or not a wreck, but, not getting back on, turning the page, let's move forward. Hey, forget the former things. There's something new happening here. It's a new beginning. We're 0-0. We want to win one this week. And to not be so banged up, they're resting Hayden Packer a little bit this week. It's not a big deal. It's just, hey, you're in week 10. You're banged up a little bit. Guys take some lumps and bumps, and even when you're healthy, you're maybe at 80 or 90%.
Yeah, and Hayden Packer has played a little bit more in this first half than I thought he might. The word was that he was going to play on the defensive side, but he has played on the offensive side and certainly has run very hard. Best example on that 3-yard run, he was down at the 3 and able to power it in. So he's really done a nice job. But you're right, week 10, you should be banged up a little bit. I mean, you've taken a lot of hits throughout this season. We want to share. We talked about the out-of-town scoreboard here in Central Pennsylvania, but again, it's playoff time coming up here next week. You want to keep an eye on teams that you may play. So from the western area, the Whippeal in 4A, Central Valley is on top of Aliquippa, 21-14 at the half. Third team out there that's in that 4A level is McKeesport. I believe they're 4A. I could be wrong on that. They might be 5A.
McKeesport's 4A.
Yep, very, very good. But that's really good. Central Mountain, they're just very Central Valley, very, very good ball club. Aliquippa obviously is a team that everybody has their eye on because they won the state title last year. But that's a great ball game there in the Whippeal tonight.
Absolutely. We talk about the power indexes and things, and we don't get into a lot of this because there's a lot of algorithms out there that talk about where teams rank. And right now, Quad A is loaded. Whippeal, you've got Central Valley. You've got Erie Cathedral Prep. You've got a McKeesport. You've got the Meadevilles. You've got the Bulldogs. You've got and Aliquippa's in there. So whoever comes out of that Whippeal, what happens every year is they take 11 guys to the playoffs or 12 teams to the playoffs, and they just beat each other up. And it's the last team standing. And so for Jersey Shore not to look past tonight, what they're going to face is District 11. If they're able to get out of the district, whoever comes out of District 4, let's just talk about that neutrally. Whoever wins District 4 gets District 11. Whoever wins between District 4 and District 11 gets District 10, which would be Erie Cathedral Prep potentially, or Meadville. And then those teams would end up in the Final Four against the upper bracket, which would be the Whippeal. So whoever comes out of that, and then they face the East, which is right now, as far as power indexes, you're looking at the prep school in Harrisburg. Help me out, Bishop McDevitt. That's the big school. But again, Lampeter Strasburg's, they're still hanging around. You got these programs that it's one and done in the playoffs. You get into that level of competition, you can't have an off night.
You absolutely cannot. Win or go home, kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament without question. And that'll start next week. Again, we won't know for sure until Sunday night or Monday, but probably will be against Shamokin, rematch with Henry Hynoski's team, quarterback Brent Nye at Jersey Shore's Thompson Street Stadium in the first round of the District 4 playoffs.
Yep, and so there'll be 4 teams in District 4 Quad A, and let's talk about some of these other. Muncie. I'm not real familiar with Muncie, but I know they have a really tall wide receiver who's been really making things happen this year. And in Single A, it's unique. You have a couple of key kids, makes all the difference in the world. And for Canton to be as big and as even their roster, they had numbers. They weren't dressing 24 kids or 30 kids.
Well, what's interesting in the Single A bracket is with the Canton loss last week, and I don't think it makes any difference because Muncie's going to win tonight. So Canton lost home seed. They're gonna get a away game. Well, they'll get a home game in week number 1, which they should win. But then if they win and Muncie wins, they would play at Muncie for the District 4 Single A title as well. 24-14 Central Valley over Aliquippa. What's interesting to forget, and thanks to Coach Sean Hale for that, last year, going back a year, Aliquippa beat McKeesport in the Whippeal final in overtime. So McKeesport was right there. Very easily could have been, down the road, Jersey Shore playing McKeesport. That's how good McKeesport was, losing to the eventual state champion Aliquippa.
And I've watched film on Central Valley this year. They're big, they're fast, they're balanced. I mean, they look like a pro-style offense. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, and they're just absolutely fundamentally sound. So
anybody that comes out of the Whippeal, they're going to be physically talented. They're going to be very, very tough. So both teams back out on the field here at Don Manilac Stadium in Mill Hall, Pennsylvania, Central Mountain High School. They put 2 minutes back on the board to allow the teams to get a little stretch, a little bit of running here before the second half. And the Bulldogs up big, 51-6 here at the break. So they did exactly what they wanted, Nate. Scored early, scored often, scored in a variety of different ways. Interception return for a touchdown, on the ground, punt return for a touchdown. The only thing they didn't do is throw one into the end zone for a score, and only threw it 7 times, 2 completions. But now it'll be interesting to see, does the first team come out at all here in the third quarter? Because Central Mountain's going to have their first team in probably the whole ball game. Or do they say, hey, listen, we now are looking truly at week number 11, week number 1 of the playoffs, and we're going to rest all of our starters here in half number 2. Always a tough question for the coaching staff.
And the balance between, okay, we want to work on some things, like we talked earlier in the first half. We want to work on some things, but we don't want to show you our full hand. So, that's a crucial thing. That's a decision you make. I think in the second half, if you're going to bring your guys out for a possession or two, you look to pitch the ball around and do some things you haven't done. Maybe it looks vanilla, but you work on some timing and some tempo. And get your receivers some touches. Who knows? If they may not come out, they may be second team the whole ride home.
I would be surprised if anybody that's banged up, whether that's a Hayden Pack or somebody else that's maybe nursing an injury a little bit, that may be the type of player that they hold them out for this second half. Really impressive first half, 51-6. The Bulldogs lead here as we're ready to start quarter number 3. Again, here from Central Mountain High School. And Nate, you talked about it. Very nice facility here.
Beautiful.
They play both soccer and football here. Really do a nice job. Put the new turf on it this summer. And Stephen Hafley, the AD, talked to him before the game. And, again, kudos to him for bringing us some refreshments there in the first half. Always enjoy the hospitality by the ADs when we go on the road.
And I know you're looking for Vince, right? Well, they locked the bathrooms down for the first half. There was some woman had slipped and fallen, and they were putting her, seeking some of her medical attention. So we got Vince back. Hey, buddy, glad to have you. I know it was jungle out there.
Never leave that press box, Vince.
Come on,
Stay right here with us, safe and sound. So the Bulldogs are going to get a chance to get that offense back on the field, no matter who's going to lead the way. And it is the first team kickoff team, Elijah Jordan and Brady Jordan, the brothers Jordan back. That could certainly be a rock band coming up here. And then Cooper Peacock and Tate Seacrest in the line ahead of them at about the 25-yard line.
So the Dogs returning here is 12 minutes on the clock to start this third quarter. Again, if you're just tuning in, Nate Carpenter, Doug Byerly, Vince Swartz here, Bear Country Sports Network. Start of the second half here at Central Mountain. Friday Night Lights, with the Bulldogs set to return to start the second half. Kick is up. Kick is squibbed. Up early. Tate fumbles it. Gets on it. Fumbles it again. Looks like Central Mountain may have gotten on it. We'll see. They signal.
Elijah Jordan got on that.
Fortunate.
That was not a great play there. Once you get that first hop and don't get it, you just have to fall on the football and take it wherever it goes. So fortunate recovery there by Elijah Jordan at the end of that play. The Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 from their own 26.
Talked about this with Coach Hale at the halftime, and he thought the Dogs would come out and run some wrinkles here with the first team, and they are. Brady Jordan in the shotgun. Looks like Tate Seacrest to his right, trips left, snaps back, immediate handoff. Tate Seacrest up the middle, touched, bounces off one. Continues to drive close to a first down. We'll see if the officials signal the crew forward.
Secret taking a little frustration with that fumble on the kickoff out on that run. Really hard, just shy of the first down.
Ref signals inches short, so to bring up a second in inches. And the gun is Jordan. Hands off again to Tate Seacrest up the middle. just driving. He's down. Ball came out, but officials signal knee down. So 1st and 10 for the Dogs.
And the little wrinkle, Peyton Samar here in the trips package closest to us near the Central Mountain side of the field. They're going 2-2 now.
The Dogs are still in the shotgun. 1st and 10 on the 36. Ball is back. Jordan rolls right, throws to the flats. Peacock sits down in the zone. Does he connect? Yes, he does. The catch is made on the sideline. I like when Peacock runs that route to 12 and just enough for the first down.
Really good throw there by Brady Jordan on the move.
So 1st and 10 Dogs at just over midfield, Central Mountain 48. Jordan in the gun. Pitch relationship, left side, pitches it to Tate Sechrist. Good block by Elijah Jordan on the outside, across the 40 to the 35. He's still going inside the 30, down to close to the 20-yard line. They're just not coming down with the arm tackles tonight.
Super job by the guys out in blocking. They made the block if they had to, but several of them, they just stood there running to be an obstruction, not get the penalty.
And that's tough. 1st and 10 on the 22. Bulldogs left to right goes Elijah Jordan. Snap is fumbled. Brady Jordan picks it up. He's going to run it around the outside. There's nobody there. He's down inside the 10 and out of bounds. Officials mark him out at the 13. What was a botched snap in the shotgun? Brady Jordan able to pick it up and run with it.
Wanted to hand that, I think, to Elijah Jordan, or Elijah maybe got too close to his brother there to force that fumble. But good alert play by Brady Jordan. Not a good job there by the Central Mountain defense to give up the end when you have the quarterback so deep, but a Central Mountain player down on the play, so we will have a timeout. Again, timeouts all season long brought to you by Three Brothers Moving. The Three Brothers crew treat you like a part of the family. If you, a friend, or family member is moving, give Three Brothers Moving a call, 215-220-1551. And Nate, player of the game coming up here, and again, we really appreciate Fill It Up Drive-In for the first 5 games, and now Barry Enders Construction being our player of the game sponsor. Talk about that. So many people to possibly be our player of the game tonight. Brady Jordan's been really effective through the ground. Tate Sechrist, Elijah Jordan. But, boy, it's hard to get away from Cooper Peacock, what he's done with that punt return, what he's done with that interception return. But we'll give you a quick rundown. Week number 1, Hayden Packer led the way. Player of the game, 100-yard rushing, 3 TDs against Lewisburg. Breck Miller, program record, 10 PATs. Week number 3 against Selinsgrove, Jersey Shore defense held Selinsgrove to minus total yards. Week number 4 against Schick, it was a Jersey Shore special teams. They had a scoop and score by Cooper Peacock, a great punting game several times inside the 10-yard line. Week number 5, it was Cooper Peacock, 2 interceptions, returned for touchdowns, 11 and 30 yards. Week number 6, Executive Education Charter Academy, co-defensive players, Connor Griffin, 2 INTs, and Peyton Samar led the team in tackles, including a half a sack and 2 tackles for a loss. Week number 7 against Shamoka and Hayden Packer, his second one of the year, 4 rush TDs and excellent defensive play. Week number 8 versus the Montoursville Warriors, Stone Sechrist led the way for the defense, 6 tackles, 1 assist, half a sack, really solid on that defensive side. And then last week against Canton, Cooper Peacock, the special teams play was just outstanding, and a 40-yard pitch and catch run for the touchdown led the way. So those are our players of the game thus far in 2022. Who will be tonight? Barry Enders, player of the game. We'll talk about that here throughout the second half.
Central Mountain player walking off the field under his own strength. That's number 5, Connor Fultz. Thankfully, he's okay. Jersey Shore driving right now. Down inside the Mifflinburg 15. I'm sorry, Central Mountain 15. 2nd and 1. Handoff is up the middle. Gaping hole. I believe that's Tate Sechrist. Gets the first down and then some.
Really impressive. Really no drop-off. I mean, Hayden Packer is so good. But Tate Sechrist runs with just such passion in the backfield. Very impressive.
In the gun, Jordan motions right to left. It's a handoff on the jet sweep. Cuts it back up the middle. Inside the 5. Touchdown. That's Dathan Tyson.
Jet sweep, really nice. You know, Dathan had one a couple weeks ago. I forget who that was against, for maybe about 23 yards. This one a little bit shorter. But when you can make that jet sweep work, just widens the field in the rush game. Very, very impressive first drive by Central Mountain.
Yeah, impressive for sure. And Breck Miller on again. He's had mop-up duty tonight here with these PATs. Palski to Peacock. The hold is down. The kick is up. It's no good.
I think they got the block on it. Yeah. got a hand on it at least. That pressure up the middle from Central Mountain on those extra points has been a problem at times tonight for the Bulldog PAT team.
Yeah, and that's surprising because, all year long that's been a non-issue. It's almost like that to me is less of a physical thing and more of a, come on, guys, clean it up.
And certainly something that becomes so vital in the playoffs. You can't miss the opportunities for those, quote-unquote free points after a touchdown. It kind of deflates you. Get 6 points. You don't kind of finish the whole thing together. And, again, super drive by the Jersey Shore Bulldogs here to open the second half.
Yes, absolutely. So, the Dogs tonight come out the second half, and they are looking sharp, minus that PAT. Breck Miller on the kick again. Central Mountain returning, looking to get some points on the board. Again, Central Mountain did score in that first half. Were able to put 6 on the board. They did not get the 2-point conversion, but that was the first touchdown all season scored against this first-team defense. Kick up by Breck Miller. He kicks this one deep, going left side. It's fielded at the 10 by number 4, Rocco Serafini. He gets outside, stiff arms a man, and he's just going to be brought down 5 or 6. And there's a flag, so I would assume that's either a hold or a face mask.
I don't think it's going to be a hold because there wasn't any other Central Mountain player in that territory. So the good group of Bulldog defenders there forcing Rocco Serafini backwards on that return may have gotten a hand in there or got something around the horse collar area. Don't have the signal yet, but won't be surprised at all if this goes against the coverage team of the Bulldogs.
Officials discussing it. Yep, personal foul. I believe that's a 15-yarder. Yeah, they're marching off the big one.
Definitely unintentional. Going to give Central Mountain pretty decent field position. Still inside their own 30, inside the 29. Better than the about 10 where they would have been.
They would have been, inside the 10. So it was a spot of the initial forward progress plus 15. First and 10, 29-yard line for Central Mountain in the gun. Twins left, motion right. Snap is back, immediately pass to the flats behind the intended Longworth. I'm trying to get a number on the quarterback. Coach Hale said that in the first half that Brady Myers was out and Thomas Sprague was in, but I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, Thomas Sprague has definitely played quarterback and has some good ability as well, but we just cannot see those gray numbers. Even though they're lined in white against the blue, very, very hard to see from the press box area.
Uniquely enough here at Central Mountain, too, absolutely beautiful field, but I noticed when there's only 4 light towers, it's a little more challenging to call a game. Of course, it has nothing to do with the aging process.
Not at all. Eyes just as sharp as they've always been.
In the gun. Twins right. Snap is back. Ball thrown to the flats. Nearly picked off. Connor Griffin on a dead run. And Sechrist Stone out in the flats as well to help out on the coverage.
Yeah, really nice kind of dual coverage there with Stone Sechrist. Don't really usually see those middle linebackers coming out from that 5-2 into that coverage, but really good flare out there by Stone Sechrist. And you have to be impressed by him. He's a guy that kind of waited his turn and got hurt last year. When he comes in the ball game, there is no drop-off. Stone Sechrist, Hayden Packer, Peyton Samar, really good trio there out of that 5-2 linebacker area.
So Hayden Packer's still in at linebacker. Angle comes in at left side here, out in the flats. Pass is going to be thrown. He's rolling to the right. Nobody home, but he was outside of the tackle box. And that was number 15 at quarterback, Thomas Sprague.
Yep, so they have 2 junior quarterbacks, both really physically about the same, 6'1". They have Brady Myers, Thomas Sprague listed at 6'2". So we apologize for that, but again, the number's really, really hard to see. But Thomas Sprague errant on that throw. So 4th and 10, Wildcats going to punt this one away.
It looks like Cooper Peacock is going to be back along with Elijah Jordan. They've been busy tonight back in the return game, and really has been just an added boost to the already potent special teams this year, not allowing punt returns to hit the ground and lose that extra yardage. Central Mountain punting here, 4th and 10. Snap is back. The punt is away. The punt is deep enough, but it's going towards the sideline. Peacock still hovering around there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting in the playoffs with teams, seeing the tape, so to speak, on the punt returns, particularly by Cooper Peacock. Do you just punt it out of bounds? Do you punt it low, get it on the ground, get your defenders down there? Because you really don't want Jersey Shore to return the ball on the punts.
If I watch any of the film and I see what he's done, how electric he can be in the moment, and how he, with one fell swoop, can break your back, I kick it away from him. In the gun is Jordan, right to left. Dathan Tyson, hands off, up the side. Left tackle, that's Andrus. And Andrus is met by number, I believe, 18. Is that Dominic Slaughter?
Good tackle. Gave Andrus his first carry of the ball game. Runs hard when he gets an opportunity on the offensive side.
Second down and 10. In the gun, Jordan rolls right. Andrus gets a block. Going deep, no. He fakes it. Goes deep again. Wide open. Blown coverage. Down the sideline, all the way to the house. Cooper Peacock. I just got his number. It came into view. He came close enough to the light tower that we could see it. And unfortunately, there's a flag on the play.
Well, that's not a surprise because that was supposed to be a quick hitter to either Cooper Peacock or Elijah Jordan on that pass play. And then Elijah Jordan pulled it back, rightfully so, because there was pressure right in his face to give Cooper Peacock an opportunity to go down the field. But the linemen, they don't know that, and they're drifting down the field. So that's going to negate a nice pitch and catch to Cooper Peacock for the touchdown, going to cost the Bulldogs some yards.
And, what the beauty of that is, it just goes to show you if Jordan can scramble and buy time. We saw that last week, too. We thought Rooney was being called for a flag. They picked it up because he was already out there as a blocker, but behind the line. That time, nothing doing. 2nd and 11, touchdown called back. Elijah Jordan in motion. Going deep, Connor Griffin, open. Good defense. Did get his head turned back to the football. Was number 22, Braylon Corder.
Really nice play there. One-on-one with Connor Griffin. Connor was just going to go up to make a high point on that. Braylon Corder able to get it up, get that hand on it, force the incompletion.
So the Dogs, for the first time in forever, 3rd and 16. Jordan keeps it. He's going to pitch no, he keeps it. He's going to be down the sideline, gets a block, hurdles a man. He's still moving, down close to the sticks. And we talk about that pitch relationship, Central Mountain man down. Officials are going to call for a timeout, but Brady Jordan has been electric in reading that end tonight and getting vertical.
He's done a super job. I'm not sure if he's there at the first down territory, and there's a flag right at the end of that play. That might be in the officials' waist area there. Yep. So there's not a penalty on that play, I don't believe. Just short of the first down, Nate, at 4th and maybe a half a yard. I would think the Bulldogs stay on and go for it here.
And they have nothing. They have nothing to lose by going for it. And they're up. The scoreboard reads right now: Bulldogs 57, the Central Mountain Wildcats 6. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. 2:59 to go here in the third quarter. We are at Central Mountain. It's a beautiful night here, Doug. A little chill in the air, but the elements are great. Great crowd here. Dogs traveling well tonight. Central Mountain, a great turnout here on senior night for this pink out.
We've been really fortunate all season long, and obviously the team has as well, taken advantage of it. The weather's been pretty good. Really haven't played in much rain or anything like that all season long. Temperatures have been good here as we get into the mid part of the fall season. It'll be interesting, Nate. I think they'll go to the quote-unquote jumbo package because we see Owen Vandruff. Saw that last week a lot, the Southmore offensive lineman, 6'1", 235. He joins the regular offensive line here for this 4th and short.
Yeah, they got the meat wagon out there right now, Doug. Lots of size, straight eye. Brady Jordan under center, and they go hard count in Central Mountain. It appears as it violated the neutral zone.
Didn't see any movement on the orange and white side, and the officials do turn around, so that'll be a free first down for Jersey Shore. I wonder if you change the play call, maybe take a chance, go deep here.
Those big linemen are saying, "Coach, don't take me out right now. It's like a sprint to the sideline. Give us at least one play. Throw us a bone." And he does. Big jumbo in there still. Single eye right to left. Cooper Peacock, handoff immediately to the fullback. Breaking forward for about 4 yards.
Tate Sechrist on the carry. Quick hitter. They use that with Hayden Packer as well. Good push up front by that offensive line. Jaron Loomis as well at the tight end position.
Power backfield, right to left goes Peacock. Jet sweep to Peacock. Peacock has a lot of daylight. He makes a man miss. Out to the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. As he pushed, he's inside the pylon. And there's a flag. Honest to goodness, I'm going to lose it.
37 yards for the touchdown, but usually out in that area it's a hold. But, boy, Jersey Shore has done such a nice job really trying to clean up those holds. And we've commented on that where players, they get out there and instead of grabbing or putting their hands on somebody, they just continue to run, kind of be an obstruction for the defender. And we don't see that because we're kind of watching, the player run the football. So that's going to negate Cooper Peacock's touchdown. Going to bring it back.
Well, last week on the Peacock house call on the punt return, I went back and I watched that film 5 different times just to really kind of get a gauge for what they're seeing. And again, it's one of those things. You have officiating crews that call a tight game, and you have officiating crews that let things happen. Unfortunately for Peacock, that's the second time he's taken a play to the house here in the last 5 minutes and had it called back. 2nd and 4, Bulldogs. Under center is Brady Jordan. Power backfield, left to right, Connor Griffin. Snap is back. It's the counter tray to Tate Sechrist, and he's down the ankles, but he's inside. 20, 15, 10, lowers his shoulder, and into the end zone. And that last lower of the shoulder was like, I'm not going out of bounds. I'm not going to even touch that pylon. He lowered that shoulder, and the rest was history.
Very impressive. I mean, he very easily could have got bumped out at about the 10, 8-yard line, and then still 2 Central Mountain defenders right there. And that's a good call, Nate. He just kind of turned his body a little bit, gave that shoulder, showed his strength, but the quickness on that counter play, very impressive by Tate Sechrist. The Bulldogs add to the lead 63-6. Breck Miller trying to add on here the PAT.
Coach Hale talked this week a little bit because he was the O coordinator here last year at Central Mountain. Talked about Central Mountain would do a great job of coaching up their players and having them in the right spot. It would just be a matter of making the plays. And on that play, Tate Sechrist was the benefactor on that touchdown. Palski to Peacock. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it's good. Bulldogs leading big tonight with 33. I don't know if the clock is right. 33.9 to go here in the third quarter.
And Nate will give a quick rundown. Again, the scoreboard brought to you by Herb's Meat Market, 229 South Main Street, Jersey Shore. Go see them. Quality specialized meats and cheeses. Southern Columbia going to win over Schick, 42-14 in the fourth. Selinsgrove all over Midwest, 51-6 in the third. Mifflinburg still leading in the Little Brown Jug game, 12-6 over Lewisburg. Mount Carmel going to win the coal bucket. I think that's like the 15th or 16th season in a row. 34-0 over Shamokin in the third quarter. Didn't expect that. Thought that would be a little closer. Loyalsock going to win the Battle of Bridge, 35-7 over Montoursville. Danville 63-8 over Huntington. Central Columbia 29-7 over Bloomsburg, and Milton 57-7 over Warrior Run.
Breck Miller kicking off. It's a squib. It's up and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Short, low roller. Fielded well on that play by number 66. That is someone we don't have listed, Doug.
Maybe 65.
Could be.
Could be Owen Kaler. If it is a 65, the freshman, 5'10", 185 on that return. Would have to think, yep, they're going to let this one run out. Quarter number 3, the Bulldogs going to go into the last quarter of the regular season, 64-6 over Central Mountain. We'll be back. You're listening to high school Jersey Shore Bulldog football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
Close to 40 years serving the Jersey Shore area community, All Round Tire, your hometown service and tire sales center. Family owned and operated, All Round Tire features Cooper and many other tire brands, including Michelin and Firestone. Make us your first choice, not only for passenger light truck, farm, and ag tires, but also for service, brakes, exhaust, belts, and hoses. And we offer the only vulcanized flat repairs in the area. PA State Inspection 2, open weekdays 8 till 5, Saturday till noon, All Round Tire, Cement Hollow Road, Jersey Shore.
Bear Country 99.9 FM. It's Bear Country.
Doug Byerly, Nate Carpenter back here for the beginning of quarter number 4. Looks like the Bulldogs are going to make some pretty wholesale changes here on the defensive side in the last quarter of the regular season. A lot of the numbers we've seen all season long, getting some snaps here. As Central Mountain going to take over 1st and 10 after another Bulldog touchdown. Not sure who was on that carry for Central Mountain on the pitch to the right side. Tackle for loss by the Bulldog defense. Nice job there by Stone Seacrest as well. Slate Seacrest, excuse me, number 56. He's been solid, Nate. Played really well.
Absolutely.
In that Canton game. Max Engel on that left defensive
Absolutely.
end play as well.
And, Bo Seacrest, only a freshman. The Seacrests, they just keep coming. They're either dairy farmers or contractors. Dogs making some household changes. Central Mountain, 2nd and 13 in the shotgun. Motion left to right in the backfield. Going to keep the option play. Run it to the outside. There's just nothing there. I mean, that play just didn't go anywhere. And you see number 27 come in there and help clean things up at nose, Brody Herr.
What's really impressive, we've seen Bo Seacrest from the linebacker position, but you have Stone Seacrest and Peyton Samar getting some snaps here. And Bo Seacrest as a freshman, hey, I'll just move up to right defensive end. Give that a shot.
It boils down to not only, these guys are cerebral, they're in tune, they're in check, they're mentally prepared. They understand. They watch a ton of game film. And they also get the reps. We talk about how will these reps help the next generation step up, and all these guys have been getting time. So Central Mountain facing a 3rd and 19 in the gun, motion right to left. Longmiller passes deep, receiver open, well defended, and it picked off in the secondary. See if we can get a number on that, Doug.
I think that's Dathan Tyson. Stayed in, starting unit, but Dathan's an underclassman as well. Really good position there. Great play, high-pointed it for a nice interception for Dathan Tyson.
He is impressive. You talked about him earlier in the year. You were really high on him in that Shikellamy game when he took that jet sweep to the house. Good kid. We talked to his dad before the game. Smart kid, has worked extremely hard and has really had an impact this year as an underclassman.
Oh, he's played very, very well. And then, Nate, you talked about it. These underclassmen getting so many snaps. I mean, it will be a turnover next year with the 18 seniors for the Bulldogs.
Under center, J-Loom. Loomis in the game, left to right motion. Pitches outside. That's Brody Herr. Makes a man miss, bounces to the outside. Lowers his shoulder, picks up nearly 10. We'll see what they call it.
If they mark it where the official is in the center of the field, that's a first down, but the one for the side comes out right on the line, so they're going to be just short. Nice run there by Brody Herr on the pitch.
We talked about Brody Herr finally kind of settling in and understanding his offensive duties. Picked up the defensive side a little quicker. In the eye, Bo Seacrest gets the handoff up the middle, and he just drives. Outsized, outmatched, but not outmaneuvered. Picks up a couple, big time.
He's impressive, 5'10", 160, but you can tell a very physical guy. He's going to grow between this year and next. He's going to be an impact player for the Bulldogs.
So Loomis under center, singles left and right, motions right to left. In the eye, quick pitch left is Brody Herr. Does he get a block? He has a blears. Outside, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Brody Herr showed some wheels on that. Incredible run by Brody Herr.
That is some good speed. I mean, you try not to laugh. I mean, that is some good speed. First-year player. He's a nose guard, the offensive side, trying to figure it out. Where do I run? When do I kind of put my shoulder down? He saw the opening there, split the defenders. Very good speed by Brody Herr all the way for the touchdown.
Incredible. I tripped over my own tongue. I was so excited. He just got outside quick and got to the house. Palski to Peacock. Miller's kick is up and good. It's been a crazy night, Doug. That's the second unit, or the third unit, or part of the fourth unit. I don't even know what you call it. You just call it successful.
And everybody kind of say, man, guys, it's 71-6, so we exceeded the points in the Lewisburg ball game. Hey, you're rubbing it in. Hey, guys, listen, our first team played 2 series in the third quarter. They're out. They're all out for the most part. Listen, our guys, they've gotten snaps all year long, and they earned the right to put points on the board and show what they can do because they want to be a contributor in the upcoming playoffs. You got to make plays if you're the opponent, and if you're Jersey Shore, you're saying, hey, here's what we do. and we're proud of what we do, and right now they are doing it well.
And what's scary, Doug, is Peacock's had 2 touchdowns called back. This could really be ugly. I mean, it's been a well-fought game. Central Mountains hung around. Squib kick off the foot of Miller. It's going to go out of bounds, and that'll give Central Mountain some of its best field position tonight here with 8:33 to go in the fourth quarter, down 71-6. That should give them the 35.
An exciting time of the year coming up here, though, when the district playoffs are announced here this weekend or Monday morning. Jersey Shore has home field advantage, so hopefully if they can get a win in week number 1, probably against the Shamokin Indians in a rematch, they would have the chance to host their district game, and it would be, I believe, Nate, the chance to win the 5th consecutive District 4 4A title, I believe. Really an impressive run, and this team's saying, hey, week by week, this is what we're going to focus on, the opponent at hand. But a couple good teams, Shamokin, always a challenge. But then that winner of the Milton-Selinsgrove game, that'll be a good one if the Bulldogs can get to that final game.
So Jersey Shore has a ton of new faces out there. Paul Hill at safety. Sweely at corner. In the gun, Central Mountain. Hands off to the up back. And he's just not going anywhere. There's no surge. There's no push by the front 5 of Central Mountain. And regardless of what layer or level of athlete is in there right now, they're dominating on the defensive side of the football for the Bulldogs.
Chase Hensler, the senior, getting some snaps, really has done a nice job when he's gotten in at the end of the ball game. Super job. And you mentioned Ashton Swaley. He's a good-looking physical guy. I mean, he's a 6'1". I mean, he looks like he belongs out there on the defensive secondary.
Yeah, they're high on him. In the shotgun, Central Mountain, 2 backs, single left, twins right. Snap is back, immediate handoff inside the tackles, and he's going to lose 3 or 4 more. It's just, he touched the ball and was literally touched by a defender. Bang, bang.
Dietrich Dahmer, the senior, 6'1", 220. Again, when Dietrich gets an opportunity, doesn't get a ton of snaps, but when he gets in there, again, all week long, Nate, you see it at practice. They're in there banging, running the scout team and all of that, and they really want to show what they can do. Really good to see those guys get an opportunity to make some big plays on the defensive side.
Absolutely. Cannellison at safety along with Paul Hale. Linebacker, Caden Walker. In the gun, Central Mountain, twins right, single left, single back. Immediate handoff inside. They're just looking to hand the ball off and really go nowhere, and that's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down and a long distance, probably about 18. We'll see what they mark it here.
Nate, we didn't even mention it. I didn't anyway. That we've been in the mercy rule all in the second half, so the clock has continued to run except for a couple injuries that we've had and a couple scores that we've had as well. And it's really been amazing what the Bulldog team has been able to do, putting many, many teams in the mercy rule before halftime. And really every game except the Canton game got into mercy rule in the second half.
Yeah, and for the Dogs right now, back to receive. Paul Hale is one of them. The punt is back. The punt is short. The punt is rolling. Back to receive was also Peyton Whitman. They're going to let that one roll and bleed out. Inside the 40. Down to close to the 36-yard line. So Jersey Shore will take over on their own 36. Paul Hale, the sophomore, getting reps at quarterback for this series.
Ended up being a very nice punt for Central Mountain, one that the receiving man could not come up and field, so they had to kind of let that one go. So good roll for the Wildcats.
Trips right, single left, single back. Paul Hale in the shotgun here, 1st and 10 on the 36. Handoff immediately up the middle. No hold, number 24. Talon Malk just stood up for no gain.
I think that was Jake Weaver in on that tackle, and Jake's been a pretty solid player for the Wildcat defense all season long. So good tackle there for no loss. This was going to play out, Nate. Really impressive way to end a regular season. 71 points on the board.
2nd and 10, Hale in the gun. He's going to keep it around the outside. Stiff arms a man, but gets brought down immediately. Again, possibly a loss of 1 on that play.
I think that's number 3, Brady Wolfham, on a nice one-on-one tackle against Paul Hale. We've talked about it. Paul is the son of of Coach Sean Hale, and he's got some abilities. Probably going to have, Jaron Loomis going to have a chance to start next year at the quarterback position, but Paul's going to be a guy after another year of growth. He's going to be a factor in the offense as well.
3rd and 11. Hale gets the ball, hands off immediately on the draw, sort of delayed, nothing doing there. Malk being brought down for a loss of 2. So Jersey Shore, as that series developed, going backwards a yard each play.
Good plays up front there, including number 72, Tucker Henry, for the Central Mountain defense. So they get a good stop there. So the punting unit with Cooper Peacock coming back on, going to punt this one away. Rocco Serafini and number 2, Dominic Longworth, deep to receive the punt.
Central Mountain coach Manning very frustrated. They only had 7 men on the field.
That's not going to do it. Yeah, that's not going to do it late in the season. 7 on 11, not going to work.
Unless you're diverting back to 7-on-7s in the summertime, it was what it was. So, again, the Dogs right now, 71-6 here. Central Mountain, 3:54 to go. Paul Hale and the Bulldogs were out for that series, getting some reps and going backwards. But, hey, guys are getting reps, and that's what's important. It's going to be a punting situation here. Cooper Peacock is back in the ballgame to do the punting duties. Central Mountain trying to figure out which 11 will be out there.
And Nate, you would probably know this, and I just don't pay attention to it. So the JV team for the Bulldogs has had a really solid season as well. These guys not only get snaps in the varsity ball games all throughout the year, but have had a nice full season of their own.
They had a really big victory against Canton this past week, and it was like high 40s to 7. Peacock gets the snap, gets the kick away, rugby scrum style. It's a low line drive to number 2. Wow, that's Longworth, and what you thought might be returned was just a bunch of hornets swarming the nest.
Elijah Jordan, Brody Herr, Gabe Antris, all in that tackle on the punt team for the Bulldogs. The Bulldog defense trying to close this one out, keep that score at 71-6 for the Bulldogs. Again, 3rd consecutive season where the Bulldogs have gone undefeated. 9 games 2 years ago, 10 games this year, 10 games last year as well.
Central Mountain in the shotgun, 1st and 10 on their own 40. Twins left, motion right, handoff. No, it's fake jet sweep up the middle. No ground game there whatsoever for the Wildcats for a loss of 1.
Super job in the middle of that by Dietrich Dahmer, and we have a number 73 that I don't have for the Bulldogs as well. So a change of number there. Bo Sechrist in on that one as well, along with number 50 as well, so I don't have him either. So we've got a couple jersey number changes for the second teamers of the Bulldogs.
They're incognito tonight.
Incognito.
Special forces are out there.
Special ops.
I love it. Love to see these young kids getting reps. Central Mountain, 2nd and 11. Ball in their 39 here. 2.5 to go. Left to right motion. It is the jet sweep this time. Gets around the outside, does break a tackle. Back close to the initial line of scrimmage. Another 3rd and long here for the Wildcats.
Approaching 2 minutes with the running clock. So Central Mountain going to finish out a tough year for them at 0-10. But Shannon Manning, you talked about it, Nate. He's a good coach, did a great job at Bellefonte. They made the playoffs last year on a very senior-dominated team. Numbers are better with the younger teams underneath them, JV, etc. So Coach Manning, he's going to get these guys turned around because they only lose 5 players from this Central Mountain team from this year to next.
And that's the truth. So facing this 3rd and long, Manning will take a timeout in hopes to try to draw something up to move the chains and keep a little bit of life alive here for them. What a great year it's been. Let's recap some of this year, Doug. I mean, we knew they had a senior-laden team back. We knew offensively and defensively a lot of guys go both ways, but there's some key pieces. There are some young guys on the offensive line that get some reps. Dirk Stetz doesn't always play offense, but can. But very mature on the line. They've dominated the interior line of scrimmage most week in and week out. You add to that a plethora of running backs that can all carry and get touches. You talked about 3,000 yards rushing on the season. You have multiple receivers that are capable of at any time breaking the will and breaking the back of a defense. You've got great special teams. If anything, they just need to stay mentally in tune and focus on the turnovers and things like that and find out why that's happening. In the gun, 3rd and 10, Central Mountain. Immediate handoff up the middle. Oh, he breaks a tackle. 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards. Down close. Going to be a couple yards short, Doug, but give the front line credit there for Central Mountain. Must have been a great pep talk from Manning.
Yep, nice rush on that play. But back to your comments, Nate, you're exactly right. And what's really impressive with the rush game, you obviously have Brady Jordan, Hayden Packer, but then you have Elijah Jordan, you have Tate Sechrist. You can watch it, mix in Cooper Peacock and Dathan Tyson on those jet sweeps. 4 players with 350-plus yards. Hayden Packer approaching 1,000 on the night.
Minute and 10 to go here in the gun, Central Mountain. Twins left, 2 backs in the backfield, motion left to right. Fakes the handoff. It's a quarterback keep. Nice run play. Basically sort of a quarterback option, quarterback draw, but very well schemed up there for Central Mountain. Able to move the chains here, get over across the 50-yard line. The continuous clock is not in their favor right now. 45 seconds to go.
Dylan Ross, nice tackle at the end of that play after the Central Mountain pickup. Central Mountain might get one more snap here in the ball game, but the Bulldogs are going to go on to win this one, more than likely 71-6 to finish at 10-0.
Half a minute to go here in the 4th quarter in the gun. Central Mountain looking to try to move the chains again. Motion right to left, fake the handoff. It's another quarterback keep, this time snuffed out. Nothing doing. 20 seconds, and that may all but do it, Doug.
Very impressive way to end the regular season for the Bulldogs on the road here at Central Mountain. They're going to win this one 71-6 to finish their 3rd consecutive season at 10-0. On to the playoffs next week in the first round of the District 4 4A playoffs at Thompson-Street Stadium. We'll be right back with the post-game show. You're listening to High School Football on the Bear Country Sports Network.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power. And your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons. Unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
When you're looking to move to something bigger or smaller, new construction or a fixer-upper, in town or out of town, your first call should be to Brady Carnahan at SWC Real Estate, 570-295-8233. Through the years, SWC has become an industry leader committed to excellence by offering the most comprehensive marketing solutions. At SWC Realty, it's simple. We just market your home better. Call Brady Carnahan today, 570-295-8233.
At Boot Barn, we believe that the cowboy boot is an American icon. Today's boots are not only rooted in history, but are enhanced with modern technology features for the working cowboy. Ariat boots are built with advanced technology that provides the comfort and support of a high-performance athletic shoe, yet still has the functionality and durability of the iconic cowboy boot. And at Boot Barn, we carry over 250,000 pairs of Ariat boots nationwide. Ariat at Boot Barn.
McMahon, Ferguson & Associates Insurance Agency is your local Erie insurance agency. They handle your home, auto, commercial, and life insurance needs. Let's talk life insurance. If something happened to you, would your family be prepared? Let McMahon, Ferguson & Associates craft the perfect life insurance policy for you. Call 570-398-4090 or visit 1020 Allegheny Street, Jersey Shore. McMahon, Ferguson & Associates Erie Insurance Agency.
My name is Rose, and I've been driving a school bus for 25 years for Susquehanna Transit Company. Susquehanna Transit is family-owned and operated. If you can drive a car, you can drive a school bus. The hours and pay are great, with many opportunities to earn even more money. So come meet the staff and trainers and be a part of a great family. Call 570-753-5125.
Everything you need in one place. Jiffy Market in Jersey Shore. Now your first choice for great hot food. Breakfast sandwiches, bagels, French toast sticks, boneless wings, hash browns, garbage fries, and taco wraps. PA lottery tickets and skill games at ATM, fresh-made sandwiches, meat and cheese by the pound, snacks, candy, slushies, and more. All at Jiffy Market. Everything you need in one place. Across from the post office in downtown Jersey Shore. Stop and shop. Jiffy Market in Delhi.
WQBR, The Bear, Cutting Edge Country.
You know, I just want to say before we go to the player of the game, I want to talk a little bit about Central Mountain tonight. You know, 20-plus kids that are seniors, or five seniors, 20-plus, was it 24 kids coming back, Doug? Is that the number?
Yeah.
So they're heavy junior laden, and they did do some things well tonight. Jersey Shore, very explosive, shakes off kind of I wouldn't call it a rusty week last week, but we're able to get into the fifth gear tonight, some here at Central Mountain. Obviously, when you put 71 points on the board and have a couple of touchdowns called back, it's a crazy night. Before we get to player of the game, just want to say how gracious Central Mountain was to us tonight, not just with the amenities, a heated press box, but food and drinks, and just so thank you so much for a class program.
Really, really appreciate all of that, and we appreciate our sponsors. Again, thanks to the Wadsworth family at Lock Haven. Our pregame sponsor, Penny Crawford Rural Services, timeouts by Three Brothers Moving, kickoffs by Joe's Equipment, scoreboard by Herb's Meat Market, Kevin Peacock Disposal for the halftime, and our player of the game coming up here in just a second, Barry Enders Construction, serving Bear Country for the last 30 years, electrical, plumbing, renovation. Call with your plans to Barry Enders Construction, 570-745-2296. Just a couple of very brief stats. Jersey Shore on the ground, 368-plus yards, 7 rush TDs. Very impressive, super impressive. Game totals for Jersey Shore ran 49 plays, about 18 and a half minutes of time of possession. Central Mountain ran 46 plays, almost 30 minutes of possession. Again, one of those where the time of possession means absolutely nothing because you don't put points on the board. If you're Central Mountain, you produce. If you're Jersey Shore, really, really impressive. And Nate, our player of the game, and we try not to give it to players consecutive weeks in a row, but really hard not to give it to Cooper Peacock as well this week. 75-yard interception for a return, just a dazzling play, and then the 45-yard punt return. And that's hard because Brady Jordan, who hasn't gotten it all year, kind of taking second seat there, he had over 100 yards rushing and a couple touchdowns. Really impressive as well. But the game-changing type player and plays that Cooper Peacock has made as this season has progressed, super, super impressive. So our player of the game, second week in a row, goes to the Swiss Army knife for the Jersey Shore Bulldogs.
He is. You know, you need a toothpick, he'll get you one. You need a knife, you need a little saw, you need a pair of scissors. I'm telling you, he is the Swiss Army. He's the MacGyver. He is the guy that could really play just about any position on the field if he had to. And tonight was like no other night where he just came and he really shined bright like a diamond. So I want to say thanks again to Vince Swartz tonight. I want to say thanks again to you, Doug Byerly. Always a pleasure working with you. To Karen and Dave back at the station, to Nick Severini and the entire Bear Country Sports Network family, from our house to yours. We love you. This is Nate Carpenter. I'm signing off.
You're listening to high school football on the Bear Country Sports Network. See you next week, Thompson Street Stadium, for round 1 of the District 4 4A playoffs. Jersey Shore completes their third consecutive undefeated season at 10-0.
Thanks for listening to this week's last regular season game on the Bear Country Sports Network. Brought to you by SWC Real Estate, Woodlands Bank, Brigandy, Gleghorn and Hafley, TLC Fuels, Realty Lease Properties, First Quality, Susquehanna Transit, All Round Tire, Hafley Insurance, Hollick's Coal and Oil, Jiffy Market in Delhi, Jason Eberhardt State Farm Insurance, Anchor Realty, First Citizens Community Bank, Fager Insurance, Bald Birds Brewing Company, Twilight Diner, Napa, in Jersey Shore and Mill Hall, Jimmy Lee State Farm Insurance, Penny Crawford Rural Services, Kevin Peacock Disposal, Joe's Equipment, Muncie Bank and Trust Company, McMahon, Ferguson and Associates, B.A. Mike's Electric, Fredham Disposal, Barry Enders Construction, and River Valley Internet. The playoffs knocking on the door. First District round game to be scheduled and announced this coming Monday, Halloween. Keep listening to The Bear, to find out where the Bulldogs are going to be playing and who they'll be playing against.